Welcome back. What? I just figured I'd bring them all in, dude.
I never know
How
when
do
that's
you
starting.
do that? It's like, I'll point to Zach. That's wrong.
Yep.
Wrong.
You just
But
gotta
how
go
do
the
you
other way.
know it's right? How did you know that? Do you just know that? Oh, wow. Wait. So up is up, but whoa.
There you go.
Because it's flipped. It's not. It's flipped to 180, not or it's
Oh, I
east
see.
west.
This is that natural progression of with the camera.
It's inverted x-axis.
Whoa.
There you go. Nope. Now you're pointing to nothing.
Oh, wow. I thought I was going to get it that time. See, this doesn't make sense, right? Can you do it? Point to me. Well, up's good. Wow. So
Oh,
you did it.
Adrian.
Adrian, there we go. Adrian, we're not the smartest.
Nope.
We're not going to be the smartest, okay, in any
That's
room.
not true. Don't talk to my boy Adrian like that.
I kind of agree.
Hey, we've already won, though. So we can already say these things. Look at his house. His house is the size of my town.
And he's got CJ Stroud on his team.
God dang it,
Yeah.
that was a good trade.
And they're going to
Okay.
draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
You think?
I think they might trade up for him.
I hope
Nah.
not.
Dude, I don't even think they need to trade up for him. Now, that's blasphemy. I understand. That's a very stupid thing. But the cost to get up to him is going to be something that I don't think they need. What do you guys need? What do the Texans need right now?
We need
Running
probably,
back.
no, I would say probably some more depth at O-line, maybe.
See, I was going to say,
Maybe defensive line.
the first round O-line is so important, right? Wide receivers, Nico, Dell, and then I don't know. Noah Brown is this who Noah Brown is? What is happening?
He is now. we still got Mechie, and then that Hutchinson guy doesn't look that bad that we drafted.
I liked Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I know nothing about him, but the tape that I seen like post draft, I was pretty pumped to draft him in the 4th round, 3rd round. You know, just as a
when
flyer.
you got a Stroud, he kind of makes all of them look good, right?
Yeah,
the
I
advantage
guess
of
so.
a good quarterback. It makes your receivers better.
Elevates the team.
Apparently,
obviously the receivers made it to the NFL because they're good, right?
Yeah, and they're going to be
most of them.
elite as far as like globally speaking. And
Wasn't
then
Kenny Galladay in the NFL too?
Kenny Galladay
Russell's in the NFL.
and he's probably going to be the best player on every playground. But you know, once you get to the NFL,
He's got that going for him, which is nice.
dude, I saw a dude throw it. It must have been 70 yards on his knees.
Yep, I remember that.
Remember that, dude?
Yep.
That was crazy.
Who did that?
Jamarcus Russell.
Oh,
Dang, that was.
And then
He
he
was
just 8 and 8 and
major
8 where
collapse.
And he didn't watch
Yeah.
any film.
he could only throw it on.
Yeah, super lazy. Poor work ethic. What's Lawrence's problem then? I'm not understanding. I don't watch games, Jaguar games.
Well, last week, the defensive line was just all up in his business. They couldn't protect him last week.
Last week was a rough one for the Jags. They're a fake. Them and the Steelers, I think, are fakers. I don't really think they're that good.
I don't even think the Jaguars are fake anything. I don't think they're doing anything. I think they're
6-3.
They're just. Are they 6-3?
Yes.
Yeah. So are the Steelers.
Yeah.
They're just.
They're
the Steelers are
The Steelers are
ETNs.
100%
fraud.
fake.
just like they were a couple years ago, but the Jags just aren't making it look sexy when they do it, so no one's hyping them up.
Well, ETN has been so amazing that they haven't really needed to pass the ball, but
I guess their defense is pretty solid. That's what the announcers are saying on Sunday, is that their defense has been really solid all year. But
I haven't been able to watch much.
I don't really know. I don't watch the Jags.
Lawrence hasn't thrown more than 27. Oh, no, never mind. Those are completions. 27 complete. I mean, he's thrown 40 passes, 37, 30, but
I don't
29
think
last week.
he's not throwing touchdowns, and he's not throwing like 300-yard games.
Pickle, you're right about that. He's got 9 touchdowns in 10 games. 9 games. 1 a week?
How
I
many
mean, it could be
interceptions?
worse. It could be Jimmy G, but Lord in heaven.
Hard to be
That's-
worse than that.
That's super rough. I'm about to start Aiden O'Connell in GA next week.
Yeah, people are.
He's been sacked 24 times this year.
Ugh,
Yeah, that's rough.
that's horrible.
But see,
That's
he's
why.
got legs.
That's why the Texans need to fill out the O line. You get a young QB. I feel like you got to protect him. That's got to be
Yeah.
your mission.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
to 100%.
Like the Bengals screwed that up with Joe Burrow, and they passed on Penei Sewell
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good job.
and went for Jamar Chase. And like, I mean, Jamar Chase is amazing. You know, every team wants him, but it's like Burrow got beat to heck for the first 2 years.
Mhm.
I mean, he
The
was
number
like,
one example of protect your quarterback is
Yeah.
who is it?
I have no idea.
Andrew Luck.
Oh, he was just he's smarter than the field. He's like, I'm out of here. I got life to live.
Yeah.
I'm getting destroyed every week. Yeah, that was
Every
that's
season,
the
like,
extreme.
He's got to
That's the-
rehab all offseason every year just to be able to
Mm.
try to play again the next year.
God, what a waste, dude. Poor guy.
Got to fill out that O line.
Adrian, who's the
Yeah.
wide receiver one on Texans?
Collins.
It's Nico.
Is it
It's
Nico?
Nico?
And
Yeah.
then Pink?
Yeah.
Is he coming back this week?
He's supposed to be.
No, he's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm freaking loving the Texans. Good
I mean-
Lord.
Is Noah Brown? Did Noah Brown happen because Nico wasn't on the field?
Yes. Yeah. So he filled that role.
They filled pretty dang good.
Yeah, he did.
So what do you think? Nico comes back and he gets six pass balls?
I hope so.
Is he a target hog? Is
Just-
he
yeah.
pulling like 10, 11 targets
I
a
mean,
game?
the good thing about Stroud is he reads very well. So it's not always just to one receiver. So
Just in
he-
English, or does he also able to read another language?
Didn't he like fail that test in the offseason? And everyone's like, oh, this guy's terrible. 'Cause failed
Yes,
some
he did
arm
test
Wonder
surgery.
Leg or
poorly.
something like that. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to
Yeah.
football smart.
The
Obviously.
what test?
I don't know.
Wonderlic.
There's Wonderlic. Is that what it is?
I think that's what
I
it's
think
called.
Zach
They do
said,
take.
yeah.
I took the Wonderlic once.
Okay.
I
Did
mean,
you
if
really?
If
Yeah.
you,
The real one?
if you failed it, you're in great company.
No,
'cause so did you and CJ Stroud. If you
it
passed
was-
it, you sound great.
It was for a job interview. They wouldn't tell me my score because I didn't pay for it, but they said on the math portion, I've scored higher than anyone they've ever had take that
Shut
test
up.
for their company.
There you go.
What's
So-
Brian saying? S2?
I think that's slang for semester
Stu.
2.
Stuart, maybe?
Semester 2. Why would it be semester
I don't know.
Test.
S2
S2?
test.
Test.
Hey guys,
What?
Brian is too smart for us. I
Oh,
want you
is
to
the
understand
test
something.
is the test called the S2?
Ah,
Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know.
Brian, is that also the Wonderlic? He said he's driving in traffic. Yeah, well, I'm pumped about the freaking Texans, dude. Good for you guys. I'm
Me too,
super
man.
happy for you
Fun.
guys, man.
I love having like I don't
Oh,
know.
it's a test. The S2 is a test specifically for the NFL that measures an athlete's game speed, cognitive abilities down to a millisecond level,
interesting.
which
Thank you
means
for that.
he
does
can't
Brian know
read
that?
a defense and process.
So his God dang. I don't know how he was getting drafted by these scouts and these GMs after Bryce Young.
I
Like
s-
consensus.
it's so interesting to me how
been
often NFL
interviewed.
scouts like screw up but keep their
Oh
jobs.
yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
it's their entire job is to like scout these guys and they miss.
I mean, look
all
at
the
Mel Kiper. He never gets it right.
Mel Kiper's
He doesn't, and he's still like one of the best.
I don't-
And
I
he
don't-
still gets more right than most.
Yeah.
That's like insane to me that you can make a living off of being wrong.
Right.
Well,
that
he's
kinda
just
guy.
more. He's still more. He's less.
baseball
wrong than
players make a
everyone else,
living off of
or most.
30% hit rate.
Yeah.
And that's really good.
hitting a baseball and scouting NFL talent, I feel like are a little different, but,
I'm just
but I hear
saying.
you.
in the
I hear
same
you.
vein.
They're failing.
Same vein. I
30%
wonder
not wow in the field. Unless it's
what
baseball.
is his hit percentage? Any idea?
Who?
I mean,
Oh.
it's got to be great, right, Kuiper?
It's probably like 45%.
I don't-
I don't
I'd say
think
that's
as
probably
great.
It's probably phenomenal.
like in a
But-
7-round draft.
But here's the thing, Kuiper isn't doing it like we would be doing it. He has all sorts of contacts and inside knowledge on who these teams might take,
Hmm.
which enables him to make pretty good educated guesses.
More informed decisions.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
how
if
much
you
could
know
he
what pitches
actually
are
know,
being
though?
thrown because someone's banging on a drum, you're gonna
He's
win the
been
World
doing it
Series.
for so long, just like Adam, they all have these contacts on every team.
Yeah, but Schefter is he's getting information, different kind of information.
Agents as well, not just with the team, front office. They all have agents in their speed dials.
Yeah, I just don't see many war rooms sharing information, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he's got an inside scoop that we don't. That's clear. But it seems like he's gathering information as a commoner would. Now, obviously
But me-
he's got a little bit more.
I think where he really misses it is his actual talent evaluation, not his ability to, this team's going to take this person here. It's when they make the pick, his evaluation of talent or the people he uses to give him that information.
Mhm.
It's so wrong so many times. It makes him look so stupid.
And still he's got to be doing it better than the rest, the field. But I don't know. It's tough because CJ Stroud, god dang man, some of these guys fall even one spot, right? That's a friend. Like I posted in Discord, what they gave up Carolina to get Bryce Young is, I mean, we go through these trades. We have our trades, and they will
when
keep
you
me up
hit-
forever.
But when you hit, if that was a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady or someone like that, like you hit a guy, Joe Burrow, you give up that much to get one of those guys?
Genius.
And you never really know who's going to be that guy. I mean,
And a
Mahomes
lot of
But
wasn't taken the first quarterback. He wasn't the first quarterback taken in that draft.
But what I'm saying is, when you're doing that, if you don't hit, it's so
it's-
much more impactful than when
Yes.
you do hit. Because when you do hit, they're saying, "Good, you make that money. You're
Yeah.
supposed to hit. You're not good job, not
Right.
congratulations. You did your job.
Yeah.
That's the baseline. But when you don't hit on it, and you spend, imagine just trading Caleb, or a talent like Caleb for Bryce Young, because Caleb can come out and lay a big fat egg. But I don't know how many people were super sold on Bryce Young as an itty bitty baby guy. I mean, he's got the smarts, and you can see that he can read a defense. That's not easy, but Caleb's like otherworldly, doing crazy stuff out there, right? That's just not what most quarterbacks are doing.
Well, they do it a
DJ
lot
Moore,
in
a first, a
college.
second. What's that?
They do it a lot more in college.
They do it a lot more in college. Still, 90-some% of the quarterbacks aren't doing what Caleb Williams does.
But Tim Tebow
Could be
did
in a-
stuff
could
that
be in
no
a
one
good
else ever
system,
did
yeah.
either.
Right?
Just
We
just
can
saying
keep
that
saying all those
he's
guys
amazing
that don't.
doesn't mean he's going to do the same thing at the next level.
Yeah, but you're just saying something redundant, because I already said that. I already said he can come out and lay an egg. But Bryce Young
did you?
wasn't out there mesmerizing
Neither was
like
Mahomes.
Caleb Williams. But we're not talking about Mahomes. Just
I
saying.
know. I'm just giving
comparing-
examples.
But I'm comparing the two that are actually in question. I'm just saying how much of a nightmare I think it is when I make a big fat trade, and then it totally is.
I hate it.
Oh my God, right? Well, imagine owning a $2.2 billion company and doing it. Oh my,
aren't
and
they-
it sets your franchise back.
Aren't they? Some people are saying that Drake guy's ahead of Caleb, or moving ahead of Caleb.
Awesome. and maybe
Right.
he gets ahead of him. But my whole thing is, ouch, right? It's just
Like taking Malik
I don't
Willis
see how it
1.2.
happens. What's that?
It's like taking Malik Willis 1.2.
Oh man, absolute
Dude,
idiot
the
would do
league
that.
the league erupted,
Only a
and then
moron.
Pickle just owned it. He's like, "Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. It's Malik Williams. 103 is on the clock."
I got
Yeah.
I gotta
Look.
keep him on my team forever. I can't drop him.
Yeah, you can't drop.
It's like
I mean, that was a bad pick, but I've had some really bad picks with the 101.
At 2?
With the
Well-
101,
not that long ago, Nikhil Harry was
Who?
like the consensus 101.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, I had the one in the 1-2. I had the one in the one, the 101 and the 1-2.
Did
So I
you
took
take it 2?
JT. I took Clyde at 1 just to,
Yeah. Throw
The
off
homer.
consensus.
but
fun.
but I also had oh my God, the wide receiver in Tennessee a few years ago.
Traylon Burks,
Burks.
Not Burks. No, a few years ago.
AJ Brown.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis. I took him
Oh,
101.
Yeah,
And
he was a
NFL league.
So,
he was a consensus top pick. He was booty.
oh,
I took
Nikhil Harry.
Dorial
was
Green
probably one of the
Beckham
hardest.
at the
Mhm.
108 way back in the day.
That's the worst. Is going back and looking at a draft and be like, that guy was there at 10. And
Oh,
I took
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
at 3.
oh, we could have a whole podcast 2 hours long of just making fun of owners.
This guy was
Passing up on players.
undrafted.
And we'll all be included.
Yeah.
Because you just
Oh.
never know. You just never. There's always some dart throw in
Well,
the second or third
And
round. It's like, oh,
sometimes people are drafting based
Yeah.
off need. And so they reach a little bit for a tight end and pass up on JJ.
hmm
I remember when.
I remember when
JJ
Rager went before JJ
Yeah.
in the NFL and in our leagues.
Ooh, that's tough.
I'm sure I passed him up. I probably did.
I
You
took
just-
him because I had back-to-back picks, I think,
Okay.
in JB.
Was that a
I
GA
took
or was that JB?
JB. And I took Rager. I took Jefferson. I forgot who else I took. But oh well. I think I took a running back too. I think I took Swift.
That's
Well, thank God.
right.
Yeah. And
Thank God you got JJ also. Imagine being the Eagles and living with, that's not as bad as a franchise quarterback, but still, good Lord.
Yeah.
Maybe you just generally have a chance to catch him. Yeah. Hopefully.
Jefferson
Rager, you couldn't.
Jefferson, Rager, Love, Ruggs.
Oh,
Oh,
That
that's
was
who it
your picks in that order. You got JJ at 11.
Who would love Josh?
JJ
Love?
at 11.
Jordan. Love.
Jordan Love, Henry
Jordan Love.
Ruggs.
At
Dang,
least
I
you
don't
got
remember
JJ.
Love being in there.
I
Two
don't
for-
remember that either. I thought Swift
2-1.
was there. Maybe I
2-1.
traded.
2 for
for
4 is
Swift.
not bad.
Swift went at 1-9. Jason took Swift.
Okay, I traded you Swift for Ruggs or something like that, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Or it was in GA. I know I had them both, and I switched them out with.
Like I took
Ruggs.
Judy, then Lamb. I mean, I could have had freaking Judy or Lamb and Jefferson.
Isn't that crazy? You're like, oh, I could have had 2 and 3 in the NFL right now.
Yes, Brian, you're right.
one
You
and
generally
two.
have a chance to cash out for 80% of what you paid, but do you? But do you take that chance? Because you're either going to be that guy that nailed it, cashed out, or you're usually the guy that hangs on with hope, and then he sits on your bench like Pickles Willis at 102. I don't blame you, dude. I wouldn't
I'm
drop
hoping-
him because I wouldn't
I'm
want
hoping-
the public ridicule. The reminder
In 2
of
years,
what I had
in
done.
2 years, I'll have to promote him or drop him, and he just sits on.
Oh,
He'll be dropped.
It'll
Dropped,
be
right?
on the
I'm
last
not gonna
day.
promote him. It'll be like, oh yeah, did I drop him? Oh,
Hell yeah. All right, let's go with GA. Or what do you got up, Zach? What would you like to do?
32 is up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
Let's
just
do
all
30.
kind of.
We got a
Yeah.
lot of trades in
Okay.
32, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, we
okay.
do.
Fun.
Some fun ones, I think.
Okie dokie.
Let me pull it up on my screen too, just so I can read it a little easier.
32. Dang, when you don't compete in the league, I lose touch with what's going on. So I'm
It's kind of
interested.
crazy. Like I was looking at
Fun.
because I'm not competing in GA at all, and I was like kind of forgot to check in on it, and I was like, oh
Mhm.
shoot, like
You still run waivers, right? You still go through waivers?
uh.
Make sure you
Anyway,
you
so
got it.
James traded David Njoku
Dang it.
for Adam Thielen from Renee. James is trying to win.
Dude, I was so
At this
pissed.
point, James wants to win just to piss off Zach. That's it. It's the only reason. James wants to get to
No,
the
he
playoffs
wants to give
and
me the
lose
middle
immediately.
finger just
Yeah.
because I told him he wouldn't make the playoffs. So
Yep.
he's doing his damnedest to make the playoffs.
Good on you, James, making moves. That's what you got to do. So he actually
Is
made
this
2 trades. We can look at this kind of as one big trade. He
Yeah.
gave up David Njoku and Daniel Jones for Gardner Minshew, Darrell Henderson, and Adam Thielen. I think he just needed a QB for a week.
Yeah, this was.
I love it.
No, hold on.
He has Josh
I love
Dobbs.
it for both.
Yeah, he
So-
has Dobbs. He
so I think it was
Dobbs
a
is
QB time.
a potentially league winner.
Could be. I think
in
this
super
was
flex.
This was when
Brian. Yes, sir.
I think opium.
Opium. We have to remember that. That is good
I like that.
stuff.
I think this was before. No,
Oh, God.
I don't know. I think he's just getting a little insurance policy on Dobbs just in case. The biggest ad here is Adam Thielen. I think he got Thielen for a wonderful price.
Yeah, I was so
Renee-
pissed when I saw that trade.
I don't know.
I
what-
think that's amazing for Renee too. Well done. God
To
dang.
get-
Well done. Tight end premium.
David Njoku. Yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
give Njoku away when I had him.
you couldn't give him away.
Still, like lately?
Well, at the beginning of the year. I
He's
mean, he also had
Yeah.
a $33 price tag. So that's-
Yeah, it
Yeah.
makes it a little
I
hard.
hear ya.
He's $6 in this league. So James really needed a wide receiver and gave up Njoku for it. James's tight end now is hot butt. Tyler Higbee. It's gross. Then I traded with
Wait.
Tim.
Hmm.
I traded with Tim. I gave up a 2025 second for Kirk Cousins.
You could not get rid of that second for Cousins quick enough. You hopped on that so fast.
I
Good
don't know.
job.
I feel like it's a good. I'll shoot my shot on that one. If anything, I could flip Cousins. I have Stafford.
Well,
and
he's a
Fields.
61 salary. That's the
61's tough.
Yeah,
that's the big problem. And
that is a little tough.
so he needed Lockett. So
I may or may
there's
not have noticed that.
there's a bunch of moving parts with these next couple of trades. So I needed to move Lockett for my trade. I reached out to all the playoff teams. Cole almost took it, but then said no. And Troy was emphatic that there was no way he was going to buy Lockett. And so Tim actually had some depth issue, and he's like, I want him, but I don't know how to get the cap room. So he was basically anyone that's going to be able to pay him anything remotely good for Cousins, he was taking.
I sent that trade, and then I messaged him saying I could send you a little bit more. We could get it, like we can work this out, and he'd already accepted. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
because I was gonna send, I think, a player and an additional
That's
pick,
how you do it.
and then he just accepted it. So, but then I think Zach was kind of walking us through the next set of trades because he was involved with those. So go ahead, Zach.
So I was just looking. I was trying to get a second for Lockett from any of the playoff teams. He replaced his second with your second in that trade. So essentially, he traded Cousins for Lockett, basically straight
Solid.
up.
Yep.
And
Do
that
we
gave
think-
him.
Do we think Cousins is going to start the next year? Do we think Cousins is coming back for the start of next year?
Is
Yeah.
this his last year of his
briefly.
contract?
Yes, it is.
So they either have to give him a new contract or he's going somewhere else, and
He's
they may
gonna
be
Yeah, but
ready.
He's going to be a
he's
starter.
100% a starter, right?
Oh yes,
That's-
yeah.
There's too
But-
many teams that the Falcons need a starter.
But do we think that he's going to be ready? That my main point is:
Is he going
are
to
we
be healthy?
going after him? Because I've been going after him. I want him.
I would
because
if
people-
I've
if
been
I
going
could fit
after him
his
too.
salary, and especially in the leagues that I'm losing Mahomes, I would love to have him on my on my team for that next year potential run.
You understand if Rodgers comes back after Achilles, it's going to
In
give
December?
hope to so many. In December, right? Yeah. I should clarify. In December.
Even if he
But
comes back next year, it's gonna give hope to so many. It's weird, like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are like everybody just thinks they're outliers because they're in their 40s and they're playing in the NFL and they're still playing at a high level. And so you look
I'm
at
into
somebody,
them. Good get on Cousins. I like it. And
you
at
look
25 second, I
at
don't give a shiz about
yeah,
25 second.
I'm gonna be winning the league next year, so that's gonna be the so.
That boy. I'll still be punting. Hey, keep going, Zach.
I like Zach's get for CeeDee Lamb, and that looks so good even after this. That looks so good after this week. It looked good, I thought, in the middle of the week when it happened, and it looks even better now. So good get, Zach, I think.
Yeah, it was a long process. I was trying to get Lamb and Hawkinson,
Ooh.
and
Did you get that from Carmen? Oh, wow.
Carmen loves his tight ends, even more so obviously in a tight end premium. But I mean, he's had on many teams, like back in the Jimmy G days, Jimmy G and Gronk on his teams together, starting 2 tight ends all the time. It was going to be hard to get any one of those tight ends from
This
him.
is Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, but there's no tight end in the deal. What do you?
No, I tried to
he
get
wanted
Hawkinson in
Hawkinson.
addition to Lamb.
Oh, I hear you.
And
I'm
I would say
sorry,
he wasn't
Oh, I
budging
hear
on
you.
the. So
I don't blame him for not budging. He got a good bit for CeeDee Lamb. I mean, T. Higgins on a first, I think, is good for CeeDee. Kenny Pickett and Will Levis, I don't think are anything
but
really.
they're both on taxi, so he's taking the Flyers.
Yeah. Yep. I
honestly
love it.
Pickett, I don't think is elite, but I think that offensive line is just killing him right now. He's better than he's has been this year.
He's 6-3.
I hope so.
Well, but I mean, we're
I
talking
know what you
stats here. And I honestly think he is better than what he has looked like this year, but that offensive line is just terrible. He doesn't have his Freiermuth, one of his good weapons. I totally look to see for him to bounce back.
How could you not bounce back?
Well, if he doesn't, then he is what he is then, and he's
terrible
done.
year. So I like the get.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say basically what you were saying. Go for it.
I love the get for CD. I think the last couple weeks have kind of cemented right now in the league. Like you've got 4 wide receivers. Well, I don't know. You've got Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown. I don't know. Those 4 seem to be in a tier of their own. CeeDee Lamb the last 3 weeks has been crazy elite. I'm sure that.
Tyreek is ahead of all of them.
Yeah, Tyreek. But I knew I was forgetting one. Tyreek. So those 5, if you have one of those 5, you're doing it right. I
think Lamb
he's good.
Lamb should be nearly untouchable as far as a trade. You should have to pay more than this. In a trade like this, Levis isn't a 0, Pickett isn't a 0. In a trade like this, there's zeros for me. I do not care because I don't want to start them. So now T. Higgins and the 108, I'm listening because I love T. Higgins more than most, but I'm gonna need another first.
I didn't want to give up Higgins, but I'm like, I have to give up something if I want to get this deal done.
You're right.
I think you did it. I think you did it right. Actually,
you had to.
I think your next trade is better. I don't think McLaughlin and Pierce are going to really be anything, but Evan Ingram is like a phenomenal get in a tight end premium. Maybe
give us some hope
on Pierce and McLaughlin, but I really
give us some hope, Adrian. Give us some hope for Pierce. What are you seeing that no one else is? Are you on mute?
I don't. He doesn't have the mute? I don't know what's going on.
Yes, I was on mute. Sorry.
Oh.
So so the offensive line had been hurt. So plus I think it's a little bit of a new offensive scheme, but I think they're getting it together because I mean, I think their running game is starting to come around, hopefully, especially
It-
more than since Stroud is looking better. I think that's going to help the offensive line. I love Damian Pierce the way he runs. I think he's a lot harder runner. I mean, so
He's
then
5'10",
Singletary,
218. That's a big boy.
yeah, but he runs like he's a beast. I mean, he runs like a tank. Yeah. So as long as he can
23-year-old.
stay healthy, I think he's always going to be the number one.
But he's been
He's just
healthy
got to
this
stay.
year, right?
Well, he's not now.
He's not right
He had
now.
an ankle. Yeah.
Not lately, but I mean, he just missed one game, right?
Yeah.
And he might have missed like some of week 8. It looks like maybe, but I
Yeah.
mean, he's getting the touches. I mean, 24 touches, 80. I mean, the efficiency is
Low.
I mean, so was Singletary
bad.
prior to this week. But
Yeah, but I think Singletary was
As soon as I
backup.
drop him, he blows up.
yeah,
Yeah.
What's interesting about, and we kind of talked about this in somewhere on one of the Discord channels, but like the NFL season is just starting. James, I'm gonna just drag your team through the mud now, James. James, you're not gonna make the playoffs. Your team blows. Adam Thielen's gonna tear his Achilles this week.
I'm actually nervous that James is going too all in, and he's just going to ghost all of NDL next year.
It could happen
because
his appearances next year are based a lot on his finishes this year. But
I think
but the NFL,
you better win one.
Just starting the second half of the season, and like fantasy wise, it feels like we're getting ready to shut down. It's like because the regular
Right.
season's almost over. You're like, all right, this year it's done. But it's like, someone like Damian Pierce could have a second half finish that's like really strong. The last 7 games, it's just like, oh, this guy is playing really well. People, I think, I kind of forget that. I feel like that December is like almost the end of football because fantasy seasons end in January.
yeah.
Yeah, fantasy season ends way before then. But, well, doesn't it? Yeah, December.
And it probably ends in December before the calendar year.
It's not a good look when Singletary comes in when he finally has a starter job and does really well. Now, if it coincides with a good O-line.
No, he got to start the game before too, and he didn't do
But
nothing.
he was off. Oh, but he didn't do anything? Okay.
Right.
Is it New Year's Eve and New Year's Day? Is that the end of the season?
Yep.
Oh, I'm going to be spending time with family, and I probably won't be any of those games anyway.
Just be in the bathroom.
I'll be in the bathroom for the next 8.5 hours.
Well, good trade. Good. Mm-hmm.
If you look quick at the standings, there's a lot yet to be determined. NFC is like really, really up in the air. The AFC, I think Cole, James, and Zach are the 2 wild cards coming from 2 of those 3 teams. That's what it's going to be.
Holy
I don't
crap,
think
the West.
their teams are going to make it in, and that's because the AFC West has to play each other. So I think they're just going to beat up on each other.
All I have to do is keep winning.
So those are my Cole, James, and Zach. If you look at my predictions, I have it predicted to be Cole and James, but my predictions were so off 2 weeks ago. I would not listen to me.
You had me.
I did have
Zach
I did have you, but like for that week,
like, you nailed it.
I missed it all.
But yeah, that week I lost to freaking Justin.
Yeah, not a good look.
No, that was. I thought my season was over because I also thought I lost my doubleheader there.
And then I don't know if you want to pull up potential points really quick. I just quick looked at it, and it's pretty set in the AFC picks like 5 through 8.
No, no one's touching.
Yeah,
Jake.
Yeah. 1, 2 are 1 and 2. 3 and 4, I think, are 3 and 4. They might flip. 3, 4, and 5.
Justin scored too many points. I think he drops to 4.
So, but it's pretty close between. I mean, really, even from 3 to 8, like it's all separated by like 100 points. So probably, I don't know. It's pretty close. Maybe 5 through 8 is close. 6 through 8, those are still very volatile, going around back and forth. And then in the NFC, I didn't think it was as volatile. You've got a couple that might switch. 4 and 5 might become 5 and 4.
Wes is it's barely holding on to that 101.
Yeah, he'll find a way. So that's a pretty
102. 102 is on the block. Just keep going.
Why are you selling the 102? What do you want? You're selling the 102 for the 103, the 104, and CD Lamb. We know.
Thank you. Yeah, send it.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I would take
You're
the
gonna end up with
104 and a late first.
the 102
That's
for
what
the
I'd take.
104.
That's
and
my
the
typical.
110.
If I trade out of the
112.
101 or 102, 103, I just want to move back like 2 or 3 spots and then like 2 seconds or a late first.
We might be able to have something because I'll have the 104
Oh, done.
and
I would do that.
and the 108 or something like that.
I'd do it for the 104, 108. I'd even kick back a second.
Yeah, we might be able to do something.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Mitch is gonna get.
Those are the type of things I do all the time. I don't try to get like Adrian misunderstood. Oh, Adrian. Oh, we already talked about that one. I was trying to look up our conversation that we were having, but we have too many channels and I couldn't find it. I don't want the 102 through the 104 and a first. I just want to move back 2 or 3 spots and then take a later pick.
It's so hard
like
to
that.
tell what's going on with text over. You almost have to.
Yeah, he had the dash with the three.
Yeah.
I understood.
3 through, and it was. I knew exactly what he said.
But if
I thought it was pretty clear, but when we read it quick too, I know
it was clear.
Misunderstood.
Adrian did say he was like trying to work and then just like quick looking at messages.
Yeah,
dude, I know it's so
Adrian,
often.
staying relevant.
My wife always messes with me about text. She's like, "Didn't you read my text?" I was like, "Well, yeah," but she's like, "Well, that's not what I said."
Oh, so maybe so your wife and I are right. Now we're seeing the common denominator.
Yeah.
That's it.
I try to read through it too fast and just half of it sticks.
But yeah, I would do something, Mitch, for sure.
Mel Kiper, Adrian.
I would imagine that's going to be one of the better best quarterback or
crazy is in the AFC we've got potentially 1 or 2 teams in the top that aren't going to make the playoffs. So they're instantly the.
Yeah. Well, Miami is not going to make the playoffs.
Nope. So depending on
and then the 9 will be you or Cole or James, and then 8 will be Renee.
Oh no, I would be the 10 if I missed.
Yeah. Sorry, 9 and 10 are. Well, Carmen's one of them for sure, and then the other one is you, Cole, or James, and then Renee's
16 team.
No. So you got it backwards. 10 is the bubble team.
Bubble team.
Yeah. Sorry. Carmen's 9. I don't know because James is down there still. Carmen could end up being 10, and James could be 9.
Yeah, if James misses and I make it, and
GA.
Cole makes it. We're going to GA.
What the heck, Jay? I'm talking to Zach. At least kick us both.
Well, God, dang it! Shut.
At the same time. Oh my god.
Oh, now I'm on the bottom. What the hell is this?
Yeah, I got Adrian and Zach now. And
all right. Dang it, you're still on the bottom. I'm trying to.
You're shuffling it.
All right, GA. Yeah, let's hear from Adrian.
Got some trades because I haven't looked.
Oh,
you haven't looked at all?
I've been at a basketball game for
fun.
3
How was
hours.
the basketball game?
It was good.
Jay, we got to kick you.
At least one of the 3 games are good. All right, so 7 days. So
7 days, bruh.
All right, so first off, Zach gave up the 2024 second-round pick for Romeo Dobbs.
So why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Have you seen my week 11 buys?
Romeo Dobbs is the best receiver.
I don't mind him. Well,
I've got
Hey,
London, Olave,
Jade Reed,
Pittman, all on buy. I had to get someone in for the buy.
I like this news.
Rank
news.
Their wide receivers, Adrian. Rank Green Bay's wide receivers.
That's hard, man.
I think I'm gonna take Jaden Reed.
Yeah, Jaden Reed looks pretty solid.
Reed and
Dobbs,
all
right.
And then Christian
Reed
Watson.
and Dobbs, for now, yeah. And then Christian Watson. God,
if he could ever, get his crap together.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like this new Zach. I like the trading Zach. It's fun to see.
I was just telling Renee, this is a new Zach.
Yep.
This year's Zach is a new Zach. I
It's
don't
not
care
a
what
new
he says.
Zach. It's
I knew he was going to say some
It's a
dumb shit.
competitive Zach.
no, but I made trades
is
last
new.
year in NFL, and
Doesn't matter. No, you know why? This is why it doesn't matter. Yes, you're right. I'll say that first. But you're looking at every league and doing whatever it takes.
well, that's
And
because I'm in
you're
a
smart
position
about
now.
it.
I'm in a position now to do it. And
You mean in
JB,
all the leagues?
JB and
Okay.
GA, the last 2 years, I wasn't in the position.
JB, you had some
No,
chances to make
Geno
your team
Smith
better.
was not taking me to the promised land.
Not just Geno. Keep
It-
going.
That's Geno is what started this whole conversation.
And JB,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I like I said it again. I knew Geno wasn't going to be what I needed to win, and I was willing to just see what happens last year and then figure out my quarterback the following
boy,
year.
were you wrong.
No, I was not wrong.
He ended up being the QB5 last
He
year.
would not have won me the title.
You have no idea. You would have made so many different moves.
He would have been
You
literally the only
you would've-
quarterback I had.
You would have made a lot of different moves if you were
Well, then
competing.
you should have made a second one.
I'm happy exactly where I am right now.
Didn't you have Mac Jones or no?
Oh, Mac Jones. He sucks.
I thought you had Mac Jones too.
Hot buns.
Was he on my taxi? I don't know. I had Skylar Thompson and somebody else started
You had
for
one
me.
quarterback, yeah. Huh. All right.
Was that
So
flat
this-
water there, or was that sparkling?
Still water.
Still water. Still water.
It's actually tap water.
Oh,
So this next
you order
trade,
flat water. It's,
No,
flat. I'll
Never.
take flat.
no,
that's like a Euros. That's the Euros do that, right?
no. It's still or sparkling in Europe.
Yeah.
all I know is I hammered like 20 pieces of candy before the pod, and then washed it down with a cup of water and was like, "That's good."
That's so funny.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Gotta
All right,
say,
next trade.
The next trade, Jason gave up Rasheed Rice
Rashi.
to Earl for Tyler Boyd and Tank Dell. I think that's a good move. I
What
was
the
kinda
hell, Earl?
disappointed. Yeah.
Hey,
Disappointed.
what if Rasheed Rice becomes amazing for Mahomes?
Oh, I
Oh, well.
I think he is the guy. If you want to target a wide receiver for the Chiefs, he's the guy you need to target.
But I still
So
think
don't
Tank
you think
Dell.
this was kind
I
of
would
about
still
trade.
rather have Dell and Boyd.
Yeah.
well?
I would
Well,
like
okay.
to have Dell over Rice.
I'd take Dell over Boyd and Rice.
So you guys have to understand too. Boyd's $26, and he will be dropped at some point. There's no way I can afford to keep a $26 Boyd. So
That's not the point,
he's like
though. The point is Dell.
drop candidate.
I'd
Dell.
keep
The, okay, the point
I
is
would
Dell.
take
Okay.
Dell over
Yeah.
Rice
Well, that's your
just by
being a
itself.
homer.
I'd take
Yeah,
I
Dell
don't-
over Rice. Zach, you're being a
A lot
homer
of
by
people
taking
would.
Rice over Dell.
Yeah.
Oof.
All
I
right,
think-
Dell,
I think-
124 points.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
He did not play 1 week and a bye week. This is actually
He had a
pretty good.
concussion. He had a concussion, yeah.
Tank Dell's benefited from a lack of Nico. And he had
57
an
targets.
uncharacteristic-
Nico's only been out one game.
Well,
Yeah.
I know,
Dell-
but
Dell is a
besides
slot.
that,
He's a
Dell
slot
was out
receiver
one
and a
game.
gadget.
He got 6 points, 8 points, 3 points. So he didn't
Yeah.
do all that much. Well,
21,
he had 2 great
26,
games.
31, 19. That's 4 pretty
Yeah.
good games from a rookie.
You're right. You're right.
Get Rashi
That's
right.
awesome. What did Rashi? No.
Only one less touchdown.
Look how much. I mean,
It's
Rasheed
the
Rice has
yardage.
been-
30
He's been
less
very
points.
consistent.
30
Yeah,
less
He is
consistent.
points
consistent.
in one more game, 30 less points.
Yeah.
Listen, well,
That's
here's-
200 less yards. That's the big thing. It's the yards.
and look,
He's
we
getting
got Nico,
targeted.
we got Tank
He's
Dell,
got
we got Noah
16 less
Brown,
targets than Dell.
Rasheed Rice. Who is it? Rasheed Rice, Travis Kelce.
Sky Moore.
So
Okay, let's go to the next
he's
trade.
got
You're
a
wrong.
chance.
You're wrong.
I like Dell.
You got a good
I
Dell.
really well. I mean,
I like
got
Dell.
Tank Dell.
There you
So
go.
I'm
You got a
I'm,
good
won.
Dell.
I'm happy,
You
but
won.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was desperate.
What was that next trade?
Desperate. Okay, next one we have is that Ash?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ash
That's
and Tony.
24 second to Tony for
And he
intermission.
still lost.
Did he? Nice.
Oh,
Yes.
Ash.
I mean,
So
that's terrible.
satisfying.
Ash-
Oh, I love you,
Ash
Ash, but I
could've
love
traded-
it when you lose.
Ash, you're gonna miss the playoffs, and it's because you didn't get Kamara from me. You wouldn't trade. You wouldn't trade for Kamara. You wanted Kamara and Myers, and I wanted my pick back. And you're like, it's a good trade, but I won't do it because now's not
So
the
what were
time.
you trading?
Done
What were
dealing
you?
with
What
Ash.
was the trade? What was on the table? What were you wanting?
I said I wanted my pick back, my 2024 pick, which was going to be
Mm.
103,
Yeah, he's stingy when it comes to picks.
and I offered
I guarantee
Kamara.
it.
He's stingy.
Myers.
Almost as
Period.
much as Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's-
I
just-
offered Kamara, Myers, and something else, and he was like, "Oh, that's a really good offer, but it's week 7, and it's too early to make a trade like that, so I can't accept it."
it's not too
I was
early
like,
to make a trade.
I
like
don't
that.
blame. Week
then he
7's
lost-
when you
lost, like-
start
he's lost,
thinking
like-
about those.
He's lost like 2 games.
Week
since.
7's almost too late to start thinking about those.
Not
Here's the
not
thing
when
with
your
that.
record's how his record was.
Well, that's the
When
thing.
your
Then
record is
then he
when you're
lost.
6-2, like you what'd you say he was 6-2?
I think he was. I don't know, but he was in a must-win situation with a solid.
Oh,
team,
then yeah, that's
and then didn't make those
maybe
trades.
he was gonna.
It was
Yeah,
week-
no, you're right.
It was week 7. He lost to the Jags, then he beat Houston, and then he lost to the Titans. So he lost 2 out of 3, and he needed to win those. And now he
That's
might
what
not
you
make the
get,
playoffs.
Ash.
So I'll never.
But
say
it
that.
is more
go to the
fun
last
watching
trade
him
and We'll
lose.
go to standings. Yeah, we'll go to the last trade and then we'll look at his standings. So last one,
I'll get the pick.
yeah, a 24
No,
third.
we can go to
for
standings.
Jake,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Tony,
Tony
Tony,
kills me.
Tony.
Tony kills me, guys.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
major
that's right. He
double
didn't. He
standard
wanted to
in
get
that
rid of.
chat.
He wanted to get rid of Zay. Yeah. What I mean, whatever you do, you man.
Hey, and totally. Hey, and
Hey, I need
don't
Josh
like white-
Allen to go punch somebody.
Yeah. Preferably a 6-year-old, right? But I mean, I know if Justin Jefferson did the same exact thing as Zay Jones, he wouldn't have been selling for
I don't know.
anything that night.
He says he would. So you just
Not
gotta.
that night. No.
gotta
He
believe
said
him.
he would sell. He said he'd think about it and sell at a discount, something like that. He said he'd consider, or he did. It wasn't a on the block sell for a third. Not that you'd sell JJ for a third, but
No.
no,
I don't
he
want-
said sell at a discount.
I thought Joe said this pretty tastefully, and I didn't want to. I wasn't trying to say this without sounding like a total like loser, but like
Mhm.
I'm here to play fantasy and win fantasy. If you're putting up fantasy points and the NFL's letting you do it, I will roster you.
I'm only getting rid of
Thank you.
one of those guys if I'm worried about them actually playing.
Yeah,
Like if it looks really bad,
Okay.
they're not going to play. Okay, I'll get rid of them.
and that's the
I
only.
need-
Like
But if they're still playing, I don't have to like the guy to have him on my roster.
Deshaun Watson.
I remember when Tyreek got. Sorry, Pickle.
No,
I
go
remember
ahead,
when Tyreek got in trouble, and then we had our GA draft, and I think I got him for it was like $4 or $13
dirt
or
cheap. I
something.
remember, I
Tyreek,
remember seeing him on a roster for that cheap.
and that's just what it was, right? I mean, we thought he wasn't coming back.
I traded him
but-
in 32, but I had to do that for cap reasons. But I traded him for just pennies on the dollar because of the news.
Yeah,
I
if you-
bought him so many leagues.
like Deshaun Watson. I know a lot of people like won't roster him because they think what he did was wrong, and it's like I'm not gonna roster him because he sucks. like
I won't.
And
roster.
that's why you don't roster him.
and like
right?
during the whole process of okay, is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? What did he do? What did he not do? It's like yeah, I don't really want any part of it because it's too volatile.
I can't blame you
But-
there. Adrian
like-
had an emotional stand for him.
Yes.
He
I
didn't-
don't like him.
Yeah. I don't.
But-
I
I
can't
don't-
even fault it. I don't fault anyone for it.
I don't
just
like him
think
because he
it's
sucks at
It's a
fantasy.
silly way to play. You know, our fan. I mean, it's in the name, right? It's fantasy.
I don't like
It's-
him because
it's
he was
silly.
healthy a full year and didn't play. Didn't
And
I don't-
I
I
think
don't-
I
I don't blame
legit
you.
think he's faking it or
oh
somewhat.
yeah.
Now he's given up on his team, and he starts playing bad. He gets hurt.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know enough about him. I just know he's sucking right now.
I
Alright,
just from what I
AFC
see right now.
AFC North, or AFC period. We got obviously it's close for the division lead. I think in a couple of the AFC North, we got 3 teams at 8 and 5. We got Wes, Ash, and James.
Hmm.
Somebody's got to win that division. AFC South, I'm thinking probably is Mike's.
I don't know. He's lost 2 in a row though.
I know that could be, and then Tim could be coming up. So it's really any one of those two guys' game.
They
Really,
play each other.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, they play each other.
Oh,
Or did
Tim got it. That's so
I
he
bet Mike
needs
still wins that.
Mike should win it just based on who he's playing.
they? Right.
He's gonna
But
play-
if he loses another game,
he should win the next two. Even the Colts will get 2 wins, and he'll get 2 wins. He'll still be
yeah, what's this doubleheader look like? Hold on.
Wes, you need to
And then
sell
while
Burrow
you're
or
looking
Lamar.
at that, while you're looking at that, I'll keep on going.
Oh, he's already
So,
won his first game. So I mean, he's probably got it locked up. But I mean, yeah, if he drops another game or two, like
yeah.
could be bad.
So then Joe and Ryan are battling it out in the AFC East.
do
And
they play each
then-
other yet? Nope, 2 weeks.
So that might come down to
It should come down to that week.
yeah.
Dang,
then,
you
of
and Tony
course,
are tied
Zach
up.
and Tony.
Dang.
They're battling it out.
Imagine being 11-2
Jim.
and you're only tied at first.
I think the wild card probably is gonna come from maybe the AFC West, obviously, and then probably
Mhm.
AFC East, maybe, but it could be AFC North. Who knows? It's gonna be it's still
Well,
close, I think, for a lot of teams. So
The DH
get out
will
there
help iron things out, and a couple teams will
Oh,
win their
absolutely.
DH this week, which will be good for them.
NFC North, we have Bill. He's, I think, pretty set for winning that division. AFC South, it's going to be close between UJ and Nick.
Mm.
Dropping 1J, that hurts.
Yeah.
Who'd you lose
I
to?
know.
Who'd you play?
I played.
Did you play
I
him?
played.
You might have
Oh no, I played freaking
the
Saints.
Saints.
I played Roy. And
Oh,
Keenan
Good
Roy.
job,
I got Keenan
Roy.
Allen.
Uh,
Diggs didn't do anything
A
for
little
me.
payback for JB, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say payback for JB.
Yeah, I know. I had AJ Brown, Josh Downs, Devonta Smith on bye. It was
Last
I
week
won my-
was like
I won my DH.
apocalypse.
yeah, that was a tough
Yeah.
one for me.
week 10 was tough.
And then
Yeah.
Jason K finally tied it up with his buddy
Justin.
Justin, and then so we'll see who wins that one. It's going to be a tough one. And then NFC West, I tried to take Braxton down this week, but I scored the second highest points in the whole conference
Mm.
this week, and he beat me by 6 points still.
Oh,
Brutal.
I needed one more touchdown from Allen, and I would have probably, as long as it didn't come from Gabe Davis.
You just needed Allen not to throw interceptions.
So
And
Allen-
fumble.
Allen propelled you in JB, but didn't do quite enough in GA. Is that what ended up happening
Yes.
yesterday? Because I
Yes.
thought you were rejoicing, but that was for JB and not GA.
Right. Yeah. I was
Oh,
hoping
okay.
he would
I
get
think-
one more touchdown.
Word.
This week, Tony and I play, and I think this week will decide our division.
Yeah.
Mm.
Tony to lose first game of the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. If I would have won,
Tony's
I
got a
could've
good one.
maybe had a shot, but I'm out.
Tony's had a good team in this league for 3 years.
He has.
Yeah, he is.
He's been very good.
He wasn't happy
Freaking-
about my trade.
And he's about
All right,
to get
that-
Devon Achane back, and Taysom Hill's been doing all right.
Devon,
That is GA. Who's got the next
All
one?
right.
Oh, let's look at
You want to go NFL?
I'll look at power rankings real fast.
So what do you not like Achane for, Pickle?
too small a sample size for people to respond this way. I think I just like insanely ungodly high efficiency over 3 games, and
That's
people
definitely a
think-
sell high moment.
like
for
I
sure.
think it's a smash sell high. People are going nuts for this guy, and it's like he's Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert's been unrosterable for most of his career, let alone league winnable. I'm not saying
Well, he was
not
on a roster every single year forever.
he was like
he-
unstartable for a lot. I like when he was with
Well,
the Niners, he was injured. He would
Yeah.
rip off an 80-yard touchdown, like
And
he
he'd
had
get
that
injured.
capability, and then he'd be out for 3 weeks, and then he'd
Yeah.
come back and it's like this is not a guy you.
Some of these guys get stronger as they get older.
It could be- like
right.
I
They
said,
don't just break down.
I'll be no problem if I'm wrong. Everyone's like, that's fine.
Sure.
It's good for the NFL. It's good for fantasy to have players like these. That's good. I just think people are valuing Achan
You're just saying his
crazy,
cost is
crazy
ridiculous.
high, and I'm like, he's not going to come back and go and get 4 touchdowns again. They scored 70 points.
He's going to come back to a really tough schedule too.
Yeah, he's going to come back, and he's probably going to get some touches. He'll probably rip off some long runs, but he's not going to be.
I've always
30,
considered him
30
as a
points
as a very nice flex. Not really a RB1.
a nice flex, but
You don't value him as a flex, though.
People are like more
No.
excited about Achan.
But he's a nice flex, yeah.
They're more excited about Achan coming off of IR than they are about Justin Jefferson right now. People are like,
because he's the new shiny toy.
I got Achan. He's going to come back. We're going to win the league.
He's the new shiny toy.
You see him as a flex? I see him as an absolute. If he's starting, he's an RB1 starting.
I just think that's.
He's not the RB1 for the team though, so that's. I mean, next year maybe.
This player doesn't need to be.
So this is like, I think what you're kind of hinting at is this is like that Kamara situation. Kamara behind Ingram. Thank you.
He doesn't need to be the one to be a one. Gross. That's silly.
I just think
it sure should for most. I mean, look for most every player.
He's going to have those boom bust weeks. I think. I mean, I don't think his weeks are going to be bust. I mean, boom.
I just think his busts are going to be IR or not playing, and it's you can't build around that guy.
I agree. You're going to have to in these salary leagues though. We're looking at if he misses 5 or 6 games a year. I think he's more valuable to you because the cost is going to allow you to build these these Josh Jacobs, absorb these Josh Jacobs type, Kamara type salaries, right? To where when he's healthy, his floor is RB12.
I just think off of 3 games, you can't make that statement about anybody.
And
that's where my hiccup is.
I think he's Eckler-ish.
Yeah, it just a different size. That's the problem.
When Gordon was there, Melvin Gordon was there, and then Eckler was this, change of pace, hit pay dirt type.
The way McDaniel's gonna use him, he really only needs 8 to 10 touches. Whether it's targets or rushes. If you just limit him 8 to 10, which you probably will get more per game, but 8 to 10, any type of player of his potency and his explosiveness doesn't need more than 10 touches. Justin Jefferson does not need more than 10 targets to be, a wide receiver, a top 12 wide receiver. He's going to be similar to that because he will go from 0 to 60 and hit, knock out, 30 yards.
Achan or Gibbs?
Achan
or Gibbs.
Oh! I thought you were asking.
I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, it is. Achan or Gibbs.
They're back to back. I mean, I don't see how you take one over the other. I would probably say Gibbs because he may be more durable, but
I would say.
Gibbs is a little guy too.
I'll
tell you what,
your conversation just sounded a lot like your Gibbs conversation. So that's good that you said back to back.
I don't see how you take, like, if you're on the clock in a snake draft, who do you take first? I don't know. I think you take Achan because of the offense. But I mean, Lions got a great offense too, and they got a better offensive line.
Yeah,
it's tough roster construction, so you're always in your lineup. I agree.
For what I will say, for what you're going to end up like salary paying him, it's going to be whatever he was drafted at because he's not going to be.
Which is awesome.
He's not going to be part of a holdout, so that's great. But if you've got a guy like that, and then you're saying he's not you particularly, you the general you, and saying he's worth a first plus, and he's only going to play 8 games a year because he's going to be kind of banged up a little bit, and with those 8 games, he's going to be decent. He's going to get touches and have opportunity. It's like, how are you
first plus now?
You can get it now. I don't even know if you can get it now. Nobody wants to trade this guy. Everybody thinks he's here
don't wanna trade
forever,
him.
and he's going to be.
You offer someone a first for HN, and 9 out of 10 will reject it.
Speaking
Yeah.
of no one wants to trade this guy,
I think 10
he
of
was
them.
Yeah.
just traded in SF2.
What?
But look what he gave.
Very
Yeah, look
nice.
what they gave
Yeah,
up.
look what they gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, you pulled it up. I was going to say I can talk about SF2,
Yeah,
the
go
NFC
ahead.
anyway. So me and Renee are battling it out, trying to win the conference. I, honest to God, don't think any other team has a chance to win the conference except me and Renee. We both made moves this week. I traded away McBride and a 25 first for DeAndre Swift because I just want another depth piece, which could be a problem for me because now I got to figure out who to start. I think I'm sitting Saquon Barkley this week.
And McBride just went off.
And McBride did go off, but I've got Hawkinson
That's
and George Kittle, so I was like, I just need to get rid of this guy.
I ought to get rid of Kittle.
He didn't want Kittle. I sent a 25 first for
This
Swift.
doesn't like Kittle, so I'll give you a third for him.
Good Lord. He wanted a first and a second. And I was like, I don't have a second, or I don't know what he wanted. He wanted a first and a 24 second. And I was like, I'll give you Trey McBride for $1 and a first. And I was kind of just like, I don't really care. I want Swift. So maybe a bit of an overpay, but we'll see. Renee gave up Gibson, Gallup, Elijah Moore, a 24 first, a 24 second, a 24 third, and a 25 first
Whoa.
for
That's a
Achane and
lot,
Thielen.
right?
So that's like,
wow.
if that's what Achane's selling at, like that is too high. Like
Yeah, but look,
you can't
People-
go
yeah.
get you can't go
That's-
get
When
Josh Jacobs.
Renee really
players are
wants
nothing.
somebody, she will pay up for those people.
Yeah.
To me,
Hell
this
yeah.
is 2 firsts, a second, and a third for Achan.
yeah.
Gibson, Gallup, and Moore for Thielen.
Well,
like-
well,
like
yeah.
that-
She,
That's insane to me.
she gave up players that she was going to dump anyway.
Yes.
I mean, Elijah Moore, Michael Gallup, Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. No,
Which Gallup just did a good game.
she made her team better for sure.
Yeah,
And
Moore
I
had a
think-
good game.
And Achan and Thielen are great ads this time of year.
And that's what it's going to take right there, Pickle.
Yeah.
But
to
to
get
me,
Achan.
to me, what that does is that like wildly inflates his value because somebody sees like, oh, that person sold Achan for 2 firsts, so I'm not moving on this guy for 2 firsts, and it's like, wow, a guy who's played 3 games, you think is worth 2 firsts, and one of
Just
those
look at his
games,
2
one of
games,
those
though.
games, but one of those games is
That's
like
what it is.
an absurd
Yes.
outlier where the offense put up 70 points and he had 4 touchdowns. So you can write
Ryan
that.
said he'll
That's
take that deal.
I'll
Yeah,
cash
oh, yeah.
out too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like that's just I just can't wrap my head around the insane inflation on that.
But
That's what
look
you
how
have to
much,
do.
like, if we go back and look how much Renee paid for Kyron Williams
She paid a
well,
lot.
she
and
got
Puka.
what's his name too, right? Puka.
She paid 3 firsts for Kyron and Puka.
And then what did Pickle do? He went to his brain trust and he said, "Guys, I got a deal that I think I gotta accept, but it
Well, I was
wasn't a
just-
smash."
Well, I
He
was like,
didn't-
if somebody sends you that offer, I'm like, oh, are these
Yeah,
guys
you're right.
are these guys really that valuable? Like I
Yeah.
wasn't really paying attention, and all of a sudden someone is
Yeah,
offering me. She started that trade talk with a third for Puka.
I
I said I'll hold Puka, and then it was a second. I said I'll still hold, and then it was 3 firsts for Puka and Kyron, and I was like, I think I gotta sell. Like I don't even know what I have.
Okay.
I'm selling
I
it.
didn't know the progression. That
But-
makes more sense.
Anyway, Renee is queen of paying for her guy.
Yep.
And I think she did that here. And like I said, I don't think she made her team worse. She made her team better. I think it's an overpay.
Which is scary as hell.
But she made her team.
That's tough. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Renee.
You know, because
can.
you know what ends up happening? Gibson ends up getting 15 points. Oh, the fucking A. So Gibson ends up getting 18.5 PPR points right after she deals him.
And
That's what
and,
destroys
at
my
Moore.
life.
and Gallup had
Moore.
17 and Moore had
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
And see, and that's what kills me. And I didn't even know what he did, right? I chose the one I thought did the least because I know what Moore and Gallup did.
Yeah.
And Gibson ends up doing that. And you're thinking, mother effer.
Yeah.
What if this is what they're going to do, or 50% of it? Maybe I could have
Thielen
not
put up
mortgaged my full 2 years.
10. I don't know.
I
She-
can't
she
blame her
overpaid.
though.
No, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. She's
You gotta
she's
you
in a
gotta get your
great
guy.
spot
I
to
mean-
go.
You can't
win a
when you're
championship.
making trades like this for a championship. You
I
can't
agree.
go back. You cannot go back and look at it and be like, you know
I
what?
agree.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have done that because you're
Amen.
doing what you think you need to do to win.
and I would.
Yeah.
I know you
Don't
guys.
and because then if you start looking at that, you're gonna get trigger shy
hmm
We got
or gun shy, and then you'll do what you need to do in a future year to win the title, and then you're gonna look at it and be like, well, I should have made that move, but
You're
you
right.
didn't because you were scared of
not
you know.
winning.
Yeah. Well, you're scared of making the wrong trade.
But this should be the matchup between Renee and me, because I think it'll be Renee and me in the conference championship. Will
I
be
hope
really
to
good.
just
They're gonna be.
give you a big old middle finger.
I know you want to. My team is good.
Yeah.
Everybody's sleeping on it. We had one
Dude,
other
if you
trade.
get an NDL title, dude,
Yeah, the
you're
world.
s- that would be amazing.
Yeah. If
Then
I'm
I'll know
excited to make the
anything could happen.
playoffs.
Hell yeah. Hey,
we had-
I am too. If I can make the playoffs in any NDL,
I
I'm
feel pretty
very
good about that.
excited.
I'm gonna get railed by holdouts though.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
future
that's
Mitch problems.
next year's problem.
Yeah. Well, that's the other
And
thing.
then, so what's
I've
this?
seen
What,
people not make trades because they're like, "Oh, that guy's gonna be a holdout." So I'm
Dude,
gonna.
you give
so
me
I'm
every
gonna-
freaking
so I'm-
holdout. I'll
so I'm
go to
gonna
500 salary
Yeah,
and I'll figure it out next year.
yeah. Like, oh, I'm getting rid of him because he's gonna hurt me next year. Like, what? No, you want to win now. Like, go go get that guy. I don't know.
no, I'm with you. How about this trade?
Last trade. Yep.
How
Mixon
about this?
and Kirk from Earl. So Earl gave up Mixon and Kirk, and he
Yeah.
got Dobbs, Amari Cooper, and Dallas Goddard from Ash.
Yeah.
He must have needed a quarterback this week. No, he had.
He did.
Yeah,
He
'cause,
did.
Because Stafford.
Stafford wasn't playing.
Purdy was on a bye when
No. This last week was
the
week
week
10.
before.
Stafford
Yeah.
was on.
So Stafford was on a bye. Sorry. So he needed another quarterback this week.
And it helped.
Did he win?
He won.
And
Hey,
I honestly
good
I would
job.
be starting Dobbs and Purdy.
Every way. All the
Ev-
way.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah. Good
Stafford's
job, Earl.
there in
Week
case
13.
someone Stafford's there for week 13, and that's it.
Both of them won this week. Ash and Earl both won. Pretty convincing.
Who would you rather have in Dynasty? Christian Kirk or Cooper?
Kirk.
Kirk.
I'd prefer Cooper personally.
I'm-
So I really like that.
I like Cooper. I'm just not sure.
Watson can get him the ball 100%.
Yeah. Although Cooper's been pretty solid the last 5 weeks. Except
Oh,
for
he's always solid. He's solid every single
He's
year.
been solid his whole career. He had a bit of
Yeah.
a stretch with
Yeah.
the Cowboys where he like disappeared a little bit.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
Cowboys
right.
disappeared a little bit.
And it looks like that's kind of he's done that a little bit this year as well. Kirk, I feel
Dak
like
disappeared a little bit.
Kirk's a
Dak,
bit more consistent, but
Yeah, Cowboys messed up when they let him go. That was I don't know why they would have done that, but they paid up for him and then
Kirk is
Contract
27 in a couple days.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper's 29. So for that reason, I would take Kirk in Dynasty. I don't think they're both really good assets to
they're
have.
probably both performing pretty closely, huh? 132 and
I would think.
128. Yeah.
So they're.
Hmm.
I'll take the younger guy by 2 years, but I don't think
So
you're
this
going.
is Mixon for Dobbs and Goddard.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird when you
I-
trade a running back for a QB and a tight end. I don't know how to.
It is
I don't
weird.
know how you value.
But
That's day trading right there. That's day trading for a need.
Yeah,
And he did what he had to do. And he has quarterback. I mean, he has running backs, right? Austin Eckler, he's got Kamara, he's
Yeah.
got Brian Robinson, he's got Jonathan Taylor. So,
Yeah. He's got too many running.
He's all right.
backs.
Yeah,
Almost.
if you peep the standings real quick, it hasn't really changed
oh yeah, it did.
in the NFC.
Did it?
Didn't let me finish.
AFC.
I don't really pay attention to the AFC
Come on now.
because I'm in the NFC. But the NFC between these two teams, the AFC looks like the Steelers, who'd been electric all year, are no longer there. They were like 11 and no, they weren't 11 anything. They were like
He's lost.
7.
He's lost 3 in a row. He was 8-2.
Yeah. So
So he
that's,
lost
his
his
DH.
2 games, and he lost his DH to me last week.
And I beat him this week.
So that's that
Barely.
changed things up in the AFC North. Adrian's now winning that division, and Brian is in full panic mode. Brian, don't worry. You should grab a wild card spot, because the next best wild card after you is 7-6, and that's in your own division. So,
But
both the wild cards are probably coming out of the North,
most likely.
most likely.
I mean,
Could have something weird where the Titans sneak in.
if
Joe or CJ.
if Jason drops a game to Brian, I mean,
Oh yeah, he plays me and Brian. Ooh.
yeah. So, I mean, he's got a tough schedule.
He does.
So there's very possible chance that he could miss it unless he needs to win at least one of those 2 games to stay in it.
Kind of stay in it. So
Hmm.
in the NFC, it's me, Renee. I think, is that Zach? It is Zach.
Yeah, that's why I was giving you the big old middle finger earlier when you're like, it's just up to me and Renee on the NFC side.
Oh, I'm sorry. We both have 150 more points than you.
That's fine.
That's the crazy thing about
I
playoffs.
also had
It's
JT
one
on
week.
JT injured for the first 4 weeks of the year.
It's like
Yeah.
playoffs. You got to be better than your opponent one time. It doesn't matter what happened in the regular season.
Yeah.
I also need to apologize. I was throwing mad shade at Jake. He's in a position to get in the playoffs now. That's the Packers. They're 8-5. They're kind of competing with Dave for that last wild card spot, and a little bit Tyler, but I don't think Tyler's going to make it. So Jake,
He doesn't deserve to make it yet. First year in the NDL, you shouldn't make the playoffs.
And then the
There
Lions
should be a learning curve.
Nick traded away everything, so I think he just kind of punted last second because he traded to me and Renee a bunch of players: Swift, HN, and Thielen.
Nick,
So,
What team is he?
Lions. So
I keep
He's got-
Nick as Tampa Bay because he's
I
Tampa
know.
Bay in the other leagues.
well, that's I looked at Saints and I was like, oh yeah, Zach's the Saints in this league. That's weird. Because you're always the Chiefs. You're always in the
Yeah.
AFC West. So that's
I still have the 101. 101's on the block. Just,
that's
I'll move back. Almost fine.
SF2.
Very good. We will go to JB. Did we do NFL?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Want to end with NFL or
Sure.
cool? All right.
This is
JB.
disgusting.
Trades.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I made some trades. Sweet.
All right. Trades. Derek Carr, got him. Got Derek Carr for.
Wait, why
Keaton
did you give
Mitchell
up
and the 20
nothing? Was that a mistake on the previous
Yes.
trade?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I gave
Worst
up.
trade
It was
ever.
supposed to be.
They gave up nothing. Oh wait. No, best
Damn it.
trade ever, Jay. Nice third. You got a third for free. 2/3.
See, don't say my
Although,
trade offers aren't bad.
yeah. Although it looks like I got nothing when I got Derek Carr for a first and Keaton Mitchell. But you know what's crazy is Derek Carr is sandwiched in points between Diggs on the year and AJ Brown. So I was looking at that, trying to say, okay, what can I do? I have many variables. Well, and then he gets hurt. So that's just how fantasy goes.
Yeah.
But 25 first, I could recoup that. Although my 25 first already got passed around. So I'm glad you were able to use that. You ended up flipping it. You meaning Adrian. You spent
Why the fuck is
Carson
Carson Wentz
How
in
is
any
Carson
trade?
Wentz in a, what the
It's
hell?
for cap. It's for cap. It's for,
Okay.
for salary.
No,
So
but
you hung on to
I
it?
would have had to drop him anyways. So I said, "Hey, do you want him?"
And he said, sure.
I'm happy
Or her,
that Keaton Mitchell. I had Keaton Mitchell on every on many leagues where he was available, and then I had to drop him because I had to make room several weeks ago. But I'm very interested to see what this kid does. They love to run the ball, and he's got some explosion. So Right, but it's nice when it goes to Renee. I don't know what the hell she's doing with her team, but she's having fun, and she just got some picks. So
Yeah.
she got Keaton Mitchell and 2 firsts, 24 first, 25 first for Waddle and a couple thirds.
Is that
That's his
Adrian?
price.
Third and a second.
Adrian, you paid 2 firsts for Waddle?
Oh, in a second. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a
he
second
paid
and a
2
third.
first, Mitchell, but he got Waddle in a second back. That's worth noting. 25
The
second.
25 first is going to be a late one because it's JW's.
Oh, so
And
Jay's going to be really
the
good next year?
25
Unless
round
Jay says,
is-
screw you, Renee, I'm going to tank this year.
Why would that be?
This team is my team in this here. This is set up to where I have a good combo of youth and this and that to where I can't imagine blowing it up. But even if I did, I'd just go right to the people that have my pick
and
first.
I have tons of picks in
We'll see.
this in JB. So
Okay, I guess I didn't see the
You do.
second, which makes that a little better. I don't
yeah.
know. Is
So
that
I think I
makes
said it was
my-
a third.
You did say
there's
2
Yeah.
a
thirds.
third in there? There's a third.
Yeah, it's a third and a second.
Yeah, I was surprised that she gave up Waddle, but when you get 2 firsts, cash out. Plus, she's trying to take all the backup running backs.
My valuation was a first and second on Waddle, and that's what we kind of ended up with.
If you're getting 2
Yeah,
firsts
I
for
think you bought him
anybody-
low. I mean, I believe you bought him low. She sold him at a discount compared to what she purchased him at. I think that's a great getting Waddle. This is
Yeah, I think
this
it's
is
a good
hopefully going to
trade
be
both
his
sides.
worst year in the next several years. I think.
Tyreek Hill is going to phase out in 2 years. I think he's going to be super relevant next year, but after that, he's going to be like 32, 33. He's not going to stay cheetah fast forever. So
He
And Renee
shouldn't.
got
I'm
Keaton Mitchell, which I mean, Gus Edwards ain't going to be there for long. He's old, so she
yeah.
could have
Keaton
the
Mitchell
starting-
he's
starting
your
running back.
typical undrafted rookie, though. So
Okay.
I'm not.
I was going to say, I've never heard of this guy until this week. Am I
Well, he
just
was
Yeah.
been hurt up until I think last week. I think
Yeah,
he maybe had one other.
you're
couple
right.
carries.
He was. Yeah. And then I had to get rid of Goddard because I needed a producer. I got Jake Ferguson from Tony before he went to bed. So gave up Goddard for Jake Ferguson. I really like Jake Ferguson. Let's hope, that Dak does. I got the stack between Dak and Ferguson. He did well. He did well for me. Not as well as Hawkinson ended up doing, but
No
He's not Schultz,
Ferguson.
but-
who I
Just
benched.
Lamb. No Ferguson.
Bro, and he did it too. I don't know how many targets he got. 14 targets, something like that. Lamb is a jewel. And then I had to give up Higgins, and I went for who I have pretty
Drake
high in dynasty rankings was Drake London, and then just pooped all over the bed. Basically, gave me as many points as Higgins got me.
That's
well, he
as a London owner in multiple leagues. That is, you just have to deal with that.
you just got to hope they get a different coach next year. And
yeah.
London and Pitt finally start
I'm
hitting.
surprised you
Kirk
gave that up
Cousins
for your love of
next
Jake.
year.
Oh, Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. Can you imagine?
It was
London
trick,
and Pitts would
That's where I like.
dude.
London and
That'd
Pitts
be
would be
amazing.
so good.
That's the number one destination I have
God.
for Kirk right now. I think they would pay a hefty, fully guaranteed contract to.
Minnesota's feeling pretty
Oh
good
my
with
God.
Dobbs right now too. They're probably like, oh, we'll just ride Dobbs for a couple of years, and yeah, we'll get 2
I
firsts.
think he goes back. I think Cousins goes back to Minnesota, but
I think wherever he goes, it's good.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I was hard selling T. Higgins or putting anything on Higgins for London, but I played the dynasty game too and was hoping London would have, a decent start for me, but
You didn't need him to.
I didn't. But basically because Roy, his team really underperformed.
But you put
He
up
did really
180 with a shitty performance from London.
180 is pretty
Yeah. Yeah, I was hitting on
That's
all my
pretty good.
guys though. I guess
Yeah.
Hurts didn't play, but
He scored
and Derek
180
Carr didn't
without
give me
Hurts.
anything. God dang.
good. Didn't have
Carr.
Hurts or London. So
That's
put up-
why I was pissed about these trades that he's making, because he's already a great team and he's just
Click on that details. Let's see it.
Prescott
details.
57 points.
Oh,
Gibbs 30, 20 from CMC.
Ooh,
Hmm.
He
good
had
on Luke.
absolute stinkers for 2 of his wide receivers, and he still put up 180
And
and a quarterback,
QB, yeah. Could have
And
had.
I sat Hawkinson.
Why
which
did
I
you
I
lost
can't
to
believe
Hawkinson.
because
What
he
did you
was
sit
worried about the
Hawkinson for?
injury. I told I
I
said,
was.
you are an absolute idiot.
You don't sit
Well,
the tight end
so I
too.
have him in two leagues that I really need a win. So I ended up benching him in JB, but playing him in NFL.
At least you won. If you'd lost and
At
benched
least,
him, I'd be mad
oh,
for
me
you.
too. Well, and I spent a first in car, and I traded away Higgins, who I love. But it looks like Higgins is going to probably be struggling with this hamstring for a bit. So
This is a good point though. I like this because you're trading away. I mean, a first for Carr. We'd all agree. Not
I
a good
can't
move.
believe he started Minshew over Dobbs.
yeah, I
Well, we didn't
know.
know. Yeah.
That was
In
is mind
Frankfurt
boggling.
too. That was tough.
He couldn't have
It-
won anyway. It doesn't matter.
And what? What did you
In
say?
Germany as well. I
Oh.
don't know if I would have. I mean, that would have been a negative for me.
Those overseas games seem to be like bad for the players. They seem to
Not
struggle.
great. Not. It wasn't
I
even
mean,
great for
the
Tua and
Dolphins and
Mahomes.
I would say the Dolphins and the Chiefs did decent,
Okay, everybody else,
Yeah.
except for
Okay.
Kelsey.
all the humans struggle.
Okay. This is where John, love you, buddy, but you've got to mute it or just turn it off or just
Oh boy.
ram your head into the sliding
Jay-
glass window.
Jay's about to say the most offensive thing towards you. Get ready.
You know what? I couldn't even do that to John because my heart goes out to him because he does have a good team, but he lost 4 in a row, which is absolutely
That
brutal.
hurts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Where's that?
so.
Do you
he's
know
the
why he
Colts.
lost 4 in a row?
Quarterback.
Right
No,
here.
I know he only. Where is it? What is it?
His
QB.
quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks.
all-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Lawrence.
I have my screen
And
up.
he
but
John, you're gonna have to pay for a quarterback.
Just to think,
Well,
I
and he-
offered him Allen and for Lawrence in a first, I think, at the beginning of the season.
Ooh,
oh,
he turned it down.
Wait.
Yeah.
You offered him Josh
Yeah.
Allen straight up for Lawrence and a first.
Yeah.
Did you revoke it or did he reject it?
He didn't want it. He said he was gonna hold on to Lawrence.
There was
Oh.
in his defense, everybody was thinking Lawrence is taking that step this year.
I
yeah.
still take
But I probably
Josh
should take
Allen.
Allen because he was just the QB1 last year, wasn't he? QB2.
well, when you think you
He's
have
dynasty QB 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's him and Mahomes.
When-
I mean, that's it.
No,
he
Hurts.
obviously
Hurts, yeah. Those three.
Burrow.
Sorry, go ahead, Jay.
oh Burrow.
Burrow's
When
the-
you think you have a playoff or a title
But you
competing team, right? You take that first and you deal it. You do not hold on to it when you can try to upgrade from a Lawrence to an Allen. When you go, I mean, he's arguably the QB 1 or 2, right? With what he can do with his legs. I
Yeah.
think he's still the QB 1 in NDL. I looked at GA or
he
someone.
is a QB1 right now.
So when you can do that, you just do it. You don't think about it. But then he went and took his first and he dealt it like he should have, but he dealt it for Cup or in a package to get Cup, which I don't mind that either.
Cup is hurting.
But
a
you've
lot of
got to build around quarterback, in my opinion. You don't deploy that. You know, we give Zach a lot of shit for not dealing this year. This is a new Zach. He trades differently. But he does say something that stuck with me for a couple of years. If I'm dealing my first, I'm going to need a stud. I'm going to need someone that's going to help me, unless it's like down the stretch and you're doing whatever it takes to make the playoffs or something like that. But early in the season, before week 5, 6, 7, even maybe, I'm holding on to that first unless I'm getting a bona fide QB 1, wide receiver 1, running, probably not even a running back, but tight end 1, a Kelsey package, a Laporta package. I probably wouldn't have done that for a Cooper Cup unless it's later on in the season.
it's a little. I like what you're saying about holding your first for a few weeks. Because if you trade in the off season and then you get hit with a couple injuries weeks 2 and 3, and all of a sudden you can't tank. I mean, you can. You can trade away, but then like you don't have. It's really hard, I think, to do that 1 year turnaround without your first. So I like what you're saying
Well,
about.
you do what Renee. Yeah, thanks.
Well,
You
but
do what
if you're
Renee's
trading
doing.
it in the off season, you're trading like Jason said. You're trading for a stud.
Yes.
Mhm.
You're not giving up your first for an Achan or
Shouldn't be.
a Higgins. Like gonna be good players, but they're not your studs. They're not league winners.
If he trades for Cup in the off season for that first, it looks a lot better.
He did it right before the season. I believe he did it prior to week 1 or week 1. I think it was right before week 1.
I think that would be considered a bona fide stud. The Cup has not played to that level this year at all.
I
So
wonder
in
if he's still
in
hurt.
hind-
Well,
Oh,
he
he's
is
a
old.
stud. Oh, you're right.
In hindsight, it looks like a really, really bad pick. But if you put if you look at his team, Saturday or whatever, Wednesday before week 1, Trevor Lawrence, everyone thinks they're taking a step. Matt Stafford, nice QB2, good guy. And then you add Cup to that. So now you have a Stafford Cup. You're looking at week 4. All of a sudden, Cup's going to be great. Stafford, you got it. Like, I don't know. It looks bad now, but at the time, he had 2 top tier quarterbacks and he added the best wide receiver in the league. So,
Well,
like
you said
now,
top tier. Matthew Stafford's top tier.
I guess you got Lawrence, who everyone's thinking is going to be a top 5, and then Stafford.
Let's just even say a QB1 and a QB2. I don't mind that either.
Yeah, in a 2 QB league, that's great. And then you're adding the best wide receiver in football from the last season.
Sure.
In hindsight,
Yeah.
But coming off an injury, though.
In hindsight, it's easy to look at that as like, oh, what a terrible trade. But I think he did what you said. He just maybe did a little sooner where he traded that first for a stud. Cooper Kupp is a stud. Not right now. He was when he made that trade.
And I don't blame him because yes, that's who you do. That's who you traded for, right? As we were saying. But we knew he was coming off an injury, and we knew there was a decent chance, from what I remember, that he was going to not be at the very best optimally healthy. Right? He wasn't.
Yeah.
And then he missed 4 games.
Well, there was concern that he might miss more than 4 games, I thought.
Yeah.
I can't remember on that, but
it's tough. It's tough to see him go down like this and then not have his first. That's kind of what.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
I was reading that thing, so I think the first Lawrence in the first wouldn't work because of salary. So I think I switched it to Lawrence and Walker, and he did do it.
I probably wouldn't have done that either.
At that point,
I don't think I would have done Lawrence and Walker.
Yeah.
He just had a lot of running backs.
He does.
I was like, that would have worked for salary, but
Lawrence and Walker straight up for Allen. No, if you throw a second in there, I'm gonna consider that.
Yeah.
I think this is the year, guys, that I'm changing my mind a little bit on QBs because someone's going to win a title with like Dobbs or Minshew.
But
yeah,
I know it. Someone's going to do it.
It's never
or Gino.
besides
Gino,
my fluke. I don't think it's any situation like that's ever happened before.
But
I'm with you.
The person who wins that title made that move for Dobbs or Gino or Minshew, whatever. They made that move halfway through the season when Kirk goes down.
Or later.
So I think there's a lot to say that you're not getting to that game unless you have elite quarterback play. Now, if something happens and you pivot and you get a Dobbs, well, that helps because that actually is elite quarterback play.
It's like Braxton and GA. He traded for Dobbs this week and he beat me.
But nobody who's rostered Dobbs all season long is going to be in a Super Bowl game. I don't think. So I wouldn't be so quick to change.
I don't know. There with Dobbs in GA.
Did he have a?
He just traded. What he's saying, he just traded for GA. But in GA, yeah. He didn't have him all season. He wasn't his QB1 all season.
He had Kurt. Yeah, Kurt.
So what Mitch is talking about is kind of like when I won. I had Carson Wentz all season, his MVP season. Then he gets hurt. week 13 or 14 or whatever, basically right when the playoffs
That's
happened.
when Foles took over.
I had Foles. Foles actually put up great points the first few weeks in the playoffs, and I won it with Foles. But I would not have gotten there with Foles. I got there because I had Carson Wentz on his MVP caliber season with a pretty good rest of my team.
But I hear what you're saying, Jay. Like if there's a Dobbs out there, like,
Mhm.
and you need a QB, you cannot hesitate. You're gonna
Yeah.
pass like the gut. I feel like is to pass that up and be like, no way, he keeps that up. And then
I'd
they
love
do.
to see. I'd love to see Braxton win one of these. He's gonna win an NDL,
Dude,
but I'd
his
love to
his
see
super
him win one.
super flex. Where does he say Francisco?
No, not a super flex. No,
He's in
that's
San
GA.
Francisco and GA.
GA.
Yeah.
His all play record. I wanted to point this out earlier. His all play record is second best in the whole league.
Dude,
Like
fantasy is such a grind, bro. I mean, it's an everyday thing if you do it right. Now, you might accidentally win a title, and you just do like what Todd did. Had all his picks, didn't make many trades, and he just won a title because he just stayed away from injuries. That's just kind of what happens, and he had a great team. But it takes such maneuvering and calculation to do what it takes to. So for him to, he deserves a title, right? Any one of us deserve it. We put a lot of effort into
just
this.
not in
but
32.
Him,
Yeah.
oh my God, if he wins, dude, if he takes 32 after what you
After
said.
I told him he would make the playoffs.
Yeah. But imagine, I mean, John's team right here. This is what's so sucky. Imagine having Lawrence and Stafford, solid, okay? Brees, Walker the third, okay? Those are your 2, 1 and 2. Then you got Diggs. Don't even say Hopkins, okay? We don't even say, but you got your starting
Look
3.
at his
you got
PA.
Diggs, Cooper Kupp, and Amon Ra, and then Waller and Dalton Schultz, and he's 7 and 6, lost
Look at
4 in a row, and he's third in his
It's all
division.
quarterback.
His
See what
PA
happened on
is third hardest in the league, or in the AFC.
The team
That-
you just
Yeah.
listed off, I would take that team every single day of the week. Beginning of the year, it's like sign me up. I'm gonna win the league.
right, and that maybe that's why. And he sold JSN for Diggs. What a win! Oh my God, I don't know what's happening to JSN, but that was amazing. Good, great trade there. That made up for spending the first on Cup, which was also a good trade.
So he spent a
It wasn't
first
only
for Cup
first.
and
Not
essentially a
necessarily.
first for
It was a
Diggs.
bigger package. It was a good trade. It was fine. I told him at the time I wouldn't have. It's not a deal I would have done
He made big
this early.
moves for his wide receivers.
It's heartbreaking. Some you root for more than others. I think John is someone that we've been rooting for a long time. As soon as he drafted Andrew Luck and then he retired, or he drafted Andrew Luck thinking it was a 1 QB league because that's the bylaws that Zach gave him. Booby trap. Good job, Zach. But we can go off to NFL.
Well, that can never happen again because all the bylaws are the same now.
Smart move.
That was a good change in the offseason. That was slick. You got to
You
pay
could-
for it.
You could pay for a cooler logo
You mean a
anywhere
banner?
you want.
Pay
You mean a
Braxton.
banner?
It's a
Money.
logo, you jackass.
Hey, potato Logogo.
Pay for a banner.
Uh,
Just surprise the whole league.
All right, let's touch on the trades in NFL.
Did you eat that thing already?
Me?
Yeah. Don't you have an edible in your hand or what?
No, it's a piece of plastic. I forgot to get it before I started.
Could be an edible.
Lisa left me out.
Get high
That's
on
what I
some
thought. I was like, did
plastic.
you just
Just-
eat that damn thing already?
dude,
Just stoned around. No, it's just plastic. Yeah.
Jason, I need
Yeah.
you to I don't know, in this league. I'm just thinking playoffs here.
An NFL?
No, in JB. If he wins the division, which I think he is, he's gonna be number 1 seed. So that means likely that I and Roy have to play each other the wild card, and then we have to then go play freaking Jason the following week.
Oh, so your road to the playoffs, your road to a Super Bowl is tough.
Through yeah.
But if you
We-
make it, what a gauntlet.
we play each other, then we have to play Jason, while these other guys over here.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
Good morale boost for the for your players though, if they win that first one.
If
Yeah,
I
Oh,
win, JB,
Jason's guys will have rested, and so they'll be a little slow.
bro.
you're gonna win,
If I win,
JB.
JB, I'll probably I'll just deploy all the earnings and pay everyone.
If
here.
you don't win,
Yeah.
JB, it's because I knock you off.
I don't know. Mache has
Yeah.
a pretty good squad on the NFC side.
Lions.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, there's.
I did
I mean,
pick
it's gonna be
Lions
God's
good.
to
got a
win.
good team.
It's going to
The
be a good.
NFC South, any one of those teams can beat me, except for Kyle, probably. Any one in the AFC West can take me. It's so
I
tough.
think
It's going to be so tough to. I mean, what if Hurts and Dak go down in the same week? Would anyone be surprised?
Okay, that's
I mean,
not going to happen.
No, you're pretty solid
You,
to
you
make.
keep quiet about Hurts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Dak,
you're
because I got
vested.
Lamb. I need
You're
Dak to be
vested,
healthy
man.
too.
Cooper Rush will target CeeDee Lamb. So will Trey Lance.
Oh, this was a sexy NFL trade. The first one.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
so he paid
Braxton,
for Herbert.
man.
He's
I'm
been
telling
like-
you, bro. Hey, no one's gonna hustle more than Braxton. It's just
I
not gonna
think
happen.
I think
Is it hustling? Or
me saying he wasn't going to make the playoffs was I'll show you, and I'm going to start making moves.
Zach,
his
he's
trade
got,
off-
This
offers
is
got
my
better.
7th year playing with him, and dude has never changed. This is just, and he
which
started then too.
which team is Braxton here?
New York or New England.
New England.
Can't tell by the logo.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got the
yeah,
prettiest
yeah, he's
banners.
got the prettiest banners.
Logos.
I like.
Thank you, Mitchell.
I like the.
All right, are you saying them or did you want me to?
Oh,
Zachary?
sorry. Yeah, it's my league. So we got Braxton giving up Herbert and a second for CJ Stroud and a first.
2025 first.
2025 first.
I mean, I'd say it's even, right? I mean, it's
I think so.
Herbert and Stroud are going to be what, back to back next year, dynasty.
Well, Stroud's going to be a holdout, so he's going to have his salary double.
They're back to back right now. I think.
Still going to be cheaper than Herbert.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I
lateral
see.
move.
I got Herbert as my QB5. I have Stroud as
QB6.
probably. I mean, he's got to be above Lawrence and Richardson, probably.
Yeah.
I like this trade as
Sit-
long as
Bur-
Stroud doesn't do a Baker Mayfield.
Dude,
Shame
I don't think Stroud was at the podium and he said, "You're not going to be disappointed." I got chills. He said something like that, and he's like, he had tears in his eyes. I'm like, I love you.
He did have an
you
interesting
just
quote.
believe him.
He was talking. Somebody was quoting him, and they were like, Stroud, if you were going to draft a QB, what would you ask him? And he was like, "Oh, I want to ask him when the rules stop and the instinct takes over. Like, what does that look like?" It was kind of interesting what he said. He would be looking for in a QB, and I was like, "Oh, there's like some really good insight from a really young
And he's
guy."
like, that's it. And he's so
I'm
young,
still
bro.
pissed that Van freaking took Bryce Young.
And he said he went to Ohio State to challenge him. He wanted to go to Ohio State to challenge himself. That's pretty.
I love him.
Yeah.
What's not to like? Yeah, good get. And you know what? That's what you do. Even if you have Herbert ranked higher, which I got Herbert ranked higher than Stroud, you take Stroud in a first and you get rid of, that's my second. Okay. So my second's going to be, 108, 109. I mean, 208, 209, 210. Probably won't make the playoffs. So it's not a playoff pick. That's super solid. Miami, Carmen's always pretty good. So it'll probably be a later first, but that's how you build a dynasty right there. Good get, Braxton.
Yeah, it's a good trade.
All right, then we have a Van trading Deshaun Watson, Rashee Rice, and a third for Keenan Allen and Wan'Dale Robinson from Renee.
Van has been active this year.
They made another trade a little bit later too. So
I have no idea what to. I don't know.
Van's trying to win now.
I like Keenan Allen a lot. He's probably feeling pretty good about that trade this week.
So he's competing, huh?
You know what?
Obviously.
I don't pay enough attention to the.
He must be
NFC.
competing.
Has to be.
So he's.
Ooh. Oh, he
What
could
is
get
he,
that last
Lions?
wild card spot.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
He's
is that what
so.
he's doing?
I mean, he could. He's
Oh, and he
still. He's
lost.
chasing. I don't know if he played. He plays the Bears this week.
He lost last week too.
That's
Yeah.
not good.
Oh, even after the trade, huh?
Oh.
Oh, I lost.
So next year, who are
Tom
you
put
going to
up
value higher?
131 in this league is really good. Tom put up 131. I actually lost my
What
I
happened
think
to
the
Jay?
first leg of the DH.
Maybe he had to sneeze.
LA just got nuked.
My bad.
Did you have to sneeze?
LA just got nuked. It's so mean.
Did you have to sneeze? Why'd you go off air?
No, I accidentally swiped to the left and I just got off my screen. I went back.
So that was a rough week for Van.
Oh, so next year, would you rather have Rashee Rice or Keenan Allen next year? You still like Keenan Allen, huh?
I still
Allen's
Allen.
old,
He's
man.
like 33.
He
But
is, but he was old last year too.
He was old the year before.
Yeah, but when
Yeah.
I tried to sell
when is it
Allen
in?
so many times for a second in a non-salary league. No one wanted him last year.
He's $53 too.
That's a good trade.
How
What are
old
you
is
gonna do?
Keenan? Is he 33?
He is.
He's 31.
31.
Oh,
He'll be
31.
32.
He'll be 32 in April.
April.
But he makes, and I think Jay, you've said this, Kyle probably said this too, but he makes his fantasy off of route running, not
Mm-hmm.
being crazy.
He's one of the
physical.
cleanest route runners.
Like, so he's running great routes, which means his longevity is a little bit better than somebody who's just a big body being really physical.
He's been.
And their
injured,
defense
yeah.
always sucks, so they got to throw a lot of.
He's
lot of
Herbert's
balls.
favorite target. You got a big arm
he's
and
so
Herbert,
good.
accurate thrower to Keenan. I'd take Keenan for one more year.
I like Keenan this year and next year,
Yeah.
but I'm dumping him next year. If my team starts to slip, I'm gonna sell him to anyone that I can.
He'll just die on our roster. I think that's what you do, right? You keep him.
Somebody will have him for $53 and drop him, and he'll get picked up for like $12 as a
Probably so.
34-year-old receiver.
He's got $11 in quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know if I make that deal personally.
I would sell one of those.
That's a tough one. I still like Watson, right? He's still he's still a good quarterback to me.
Shut up, Jason. Moving on.
I know.
What?
Nate gave up Joshua Dobbs to Earl for a third and fourth.
Oh, I thought that was Josh Dobbs for Stephon Diggs. I was like, oh
I
my
did too.
Wow.
No, so Earl really needed a quarterback.
They got him for free.
Good get, Earl.
I
Good
mean,
get.
it's cheaper than I would have thought you would have to pay for Dobbs. I would assume a second.
Second and third.
No, just a second.
I offered
A second would be wonderful, but I don't know if someone's given up a second. I mean, now you will.
That's one of those
after
things. You
After last week, yeah.
after last week, yeah.
So
Diggs for a first and second.
yep. So Van gave up first and a second for Diggs, and then he has his worst game of the season.
Yeah, and still
Part of
losing.
why I lost, and worst by far the worst game of the season.
Wow, I think Renee.
I wonder why they fired the
low.
offensive coordinator.
Why would
First and a
Renee?
second. We just said first and a second for Diggs was a good trade in another league. So that would be that's what you're looking for out of Diggs. I think it's
I wasn't.
No, I was saying that was the JSN one I mentioned, but
oh.
And maybe in a I don't know, maybe in a 12 team, but super flexed. But Diggs for a first and second, I think that's pretty low. Good get, Van. You don't think so?
I think it's
No.
What if you got QJ? What if you draft Quentin Johnson and you're like, fuck, man, you gave up Diggs for Quentin Johnson and Tank Bigsby?
I think again, it's an age.
What if you draft Jordan Addison?
Still.
Why? Diggs is still going to be great for another couple of years.
Yeah, he's
Really
only
easy.
27,
But it's
29.
just
29.
perception. Yeah.
Well, he'll be 30 at the end of the month.
Yeah.
It's just perception of age.
Okay.
People don't want to.
It's crazy. Like if you look
Okay.
at stats for wide receivers, a lot of wide receivers hit their stride 27 to 29. Like that is like
Uh-huh.
that's when
Sure.
if you look at the best wide receiver seasons, it's guys that are 27.
Well, that's because
28,
that's the
29,
the
30.
4-year rule.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
Which,
what that is.
well, prior to like the 2020 class, typically wide receivers take about 4 years to develop.
Okay.
And that year
Unless
4
you're
is when
JJ.
well, that's what I said prior to 2020,
Right.
because you had Lamb and JJ, and then it seems like every year after that we've had
Some
I think
studs.
it was a 3-year rule.
no, it was 4 originally.
Mm.
But anyway, you look at the best wide receiver seasons of all time, like Cooper Kupp last year, like he's 28, 29, and then but then you try and trade a 28-year-old receiver and people are like, he's old, he's washed.
I'm with you.
You're like,
Yeah.
he's
You're
not
right.
worth he's not worth anything. It's like this is when guys are at their peak, 27, 28, 29. And then I've traded a guy who was 26 and a guy was like, he's kind of old. And I was like, 26, he doesn't even. This is
I don't remember. I had
young wide receiver right now.
a running back that was 26 and
Running back's a little different, but
26 for a running back's not old. Like,
no, 28 is.
but it was like 26 versus 24. I don't remember who they were. They were similar running backs, but the person was like, "Your dude's old. I don't want to trade for him."
Yeah,
I'm like, he's
yeah.
26.
26. But I had this conversation with Jake, like in a private message a couple of years ago. And Jake was like, yeah, because I was saying that like 26, 27. I was like, I'm out. I don't want them. They're getting old. They're getting washed. And I was way off. And Jake's like, you're way off. I didn't tell him.
Good wide receivers
Yeah.
you typically be good till about 33, 34 is when they will really fall off.
That's why you got to take.
That's pretty old.
That's why you got to take Keenan for one more year.
Yeah.
That's why you got to stay with Tyreek
You're right.
Hill.
I would too. I'm really happy. I'm excited about Rice though. That was my thing. I was thinking next year does he take a that sophomore jump? But Keenan Allen's still there. Let's talk about that last trade.
So we got Mike trading Rashad Bateman and Mike Evans to Roy for Kendre Miller, Sky Moore, Calvin Ridley, and a third.
So this is Mike
Yeah.
Evans for Calvin Ridley, basically.
Yeah.
I'll take Mike
Freaking
Evans.
Bateman. Bateman's
Hey.
killing me, dude.
I would trade Bateman for Miller and Moore all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that trade, Mike Ramos wanted to get rid of him. Or was it Mike? Yeah, Mike Ramos. Well, he did it. Good get. Hopefully Calvin Ridley can do something next year. I think he will. I think it's more. Do you think it's more Lawrence based or Ridley? The lack of production.
I heard it's like
He's-
Ridley's not good against man.
I think it's Ridley because
Yeah.
Kirk has been producing.
What I've seen is this. This is what I'm hearing from the nerds on podcasts. They're saying that since Zay Jones wasn't there to take the top off, Ridley is called and deployed to be that X. So then, where he's typically a possession receiver, so then he's called to do that. But then Lawrence isn't getting him the ball probably because the pocket's not clean.
He's targeting him a bunch.
He is targeting him a bunch.
No, he's
I
not.
agree.
No, he's not.
8,
3 targets.
10, 11.
10,
I mean,
10,
61 targets in 9 games is a lot, right? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say I guess his average is probably like
He's got
6.5 targets a game.
3 pretty dud games in there.
Pretty
for
solid.
targets, but
8 targets a game.
one of those games was in Germany. No, 2 of those games were in London.
7.6 targets a game. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm sorry.
That's not
I
bad.
just saw the 2, 3, and 4. I'm like, that's not good.
I'm just wondering how his routes look, right? Or if he's even really, or is he running routes, right? Is he just jamming up the field to try to take the top off? That's what the nerds are saying. So hopefully you grabbed a couple of years, getting Ridley, who's 28. He'll be 29. Mike Evans is 30. They're
But both
nearly the
both of
same
those
age.
guys, both of those guys are guys that nobody really wants in Dynasty because they're old, but are still going to be crazy or could still be crazy productive. Mike Evans is
Yeah.
on track for his 9,000-yard season. 3 years ago, people were saying it's over. It's like
I hope we're all seeing that this year. What you just said, Pickle, is Dynasty. We gotta wake the frick up, dude. It's not just about the sexy names on the team. I've fallen into this trap. This is me. I'm talking to myself.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and I'm
Time
thinking
to
we
time.
all do also. But I mean, Adam Thielen, right? Keenan Allen, Mike Evans. I mean, these guys are
These guys are dominating the league right now.
top of the leaderboard, right? Or near the top, right? And
Dominating the league's a little
Thielen's the one that's 33. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Well, it not as
33,
elite as
damn.
those guys, but the Tyler Lockett type guys.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't like how. Oh, Tyler Lockett's too old to trade for. He's too old to trade for.
it's
He's
2 years
never been the
too.
sexy guy, but he's always been a solid wide receiver too.
He's
Oh,
getting
yeah.
you like 12 points in PPR like every single week for the entire season. And then
I
he'll get
think
the additional
Zach-
25.
I think Zach said it in the offseason. He's like, who do we got hired, DK or Lockett? And everyone was like, DK. And he's like, but why? And I'm like,
And I threw up
Yeah.
stats, and I'm
I was
look
like,
at
I
these.
know.
Lockett's
Look at
better.
this. It's because Lockett's old, and DK. Everyone still remembers the big old muscular picture with his shirt off,
That's all I see.
Oh, so
and
sexy.
they're like, "Oh, this
I wanna
DK's
touch
the best wide receiver ever."
I thought it
and
was
Lockett's
the green
out.
hair myself.
Green hair, pectorals. I want to touch it all. I want
I
to see
will
what
say-
it feels like.
It feels like DK.
How
has
big
been
do you think his
around-
wiener is? That's what I'm wondering.
It
This
feels like-
guy's penis has
All
got to
right,
be
all right.
just a mammoth.
It feels
right?
like DK has been around.
Our
for,
prediction.
Go ahead.
Our prediction episode, I said I don't see how I'm going to lose a game, and I proceed to lose 2 games in a row.
Okay, yeah.
I remember
speak
you
on it.
saying that.
You got 4 minutes.
Well, I lost to Jason. That was a tough one, but it was really tough to lose 50 or 60, 64 to 69 last week.
Oh, Broncos
What
beat the
happened?
Chiefs in this league and the
What happened is,
Mahomes
Gardner Minshew, Colby Parkinson? Yeah, Parkinson,
Oh,
and then
Who's
Diggs,
that?
Diggs and London both took a
You
big old dump.
Oh, you needed 9 points from
Mhm.
Diggs, and you got 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the bubble team that misses it. I know.
I
My
do
pick's gonna
think-
be the 105.
I do think you might be
110,
the bubble team.
I'm sure. I know. What you gonna do?
Because
Had
we
to
got
try.
Cole, and one of these guys should be as well as Jason K, the 2 wild card teams.
You think Jason K will be wild card? Yeah.
I had Jason K in the AFC Championship.
Well, if Jason K makes it and I don't, I'll be happy. I'll be rooting for him too. But anything else you want to speak on with the NFL?
Our other battle, Detroit and Minnesota. Minnesota, I believe, beat me last week in the doubleheader, so he's got that one up. Ash has got it locked up. Wes has it locked up.
Good job, guys. I don't. I like my team for next year, but that's about it. But right on, guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
It would look a lot better with ASB, right?
Yeah.
What would look better with ASB?
I don't.
Oh, his team? Hey, shut up. I want ASB.
Hey, I want to be in this league. That's
I'm sure. I'm waiting for Zach to thin some of the vets out that aren't wanting to play as hard as much as we do.
I get it, but you know what? Some of these guys have been here from
I know.
Day oneers.
League One.
I'll trade you A-Chan for Amon Ra. You got
Smash.
it. Send it.
Smash.
I'll add a
I
second.
told you what I want. You don't need Waddle and Hill. What are you doing
Wait.
with Waddle and Hill?
I was like, you want Waddle and Hill?
No.
I was like, what
wants-
the hell?
He wants Waddle, Achan, and a second for Amon Ra. It's not the worst, but I mean it's just I value Achan. I mean, we already know, and I like Waddle a lot.
Hey, why don't you
If
trade me
Waddle
Lamb?
if Waddle outperforms Amon Ra the rest of the year,
Adrian,
I
you
wouldn't
convince
be
him to trade
surprised.
me Lamb, and then he'll need a wide receiver, and he'll go get ASB from you.
Dude, I finally have a lamb in any of our leagues. I tried so hard to get him, and so
You've
I
had it
can't
forever.
I know, but I mean, I tried to get him in the other leagues.
Oh, so you
See,
wasn't
for
getting
me-
him for me and JB.
I tried so many times.
so many times. I was just like,
Yeah.
nope.
Tyreek, Lamb, and ASB. You would win. You don't
Bro,
even need
I'm not gonna-
A-Chain and Waddle.
I'm not
Yeah,
going to make the
you would.
playoffs. ASB isn't going to be
Have you seen? what
the
ASB is going?
deciding factor. It's everyone else keeps winning in front of me too. But I'm going to keep trying. But I don't value Amon Ra that much higher than Waddle personally. I
Come
don't.
on now. Look at
I have him higher. I have
Wow,
Amon Ra
just
higher. I have
hang on a
Amon
second.
Ra
How
probably.
many points does Jalen Waddle put up this year? 90?
91.
Amon Ra's got like 160.
Yeah.
Well,
come
I'm not looking backwards, right? I would have taken the deal if I looked at it like that, right? Because Achan's not going to stand in the way. But I have where do I have? I have Waddle at QB 12. I mean wide receiver 12. I have Amon Ra at I got him at 4.
Yep.
Right? That's
That's a big difference.
a big difference, right? Yeah, I agree. But he's got the boom weeks that can do what Amon Ra does. I'm not worried about that. And A-Chain's not nothing. I kind of need an A-Chan. I need his production.
He's got
All I
more
have is
points.
Rashad White.
Chad's got
all I
more
have is
points
Rashad
than
White.
Waddle.
Wait, I don't see
How about
H on
this?
your team. Oh, I'm
IR.
IR. I was totally looking past the IR.
I'll put it like this: the difference between Waddle and Amon Ra is not an A-Chan. Right?
And he laughed at me.
not gonna-
Can you believe that?
I
He
LOL'd
said-
you.
LOL. Yeah.
Is that one of those
That would be laughing.
you weren't even close, so Jay didn't counter? Is that what that was?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I said
that's
in the
not
chat.
that bad.
See, that's
You
what I'm
said
saying.
that wasn't even close.
No, I said I just LOL'd him. I
Oh.
didn't say not. It's not
Oh,
close.
well, that's
Pretty much, yeah.
basically.
Pretty much what you
What?
do when you're like, yeah, that's a crazy offer. No thanks.
Well, listen. If I was going to make the playoffs, those are the kind of things you do, right? Those are the kind of trades you feel like you have to make.
Why didn't
because
you?
Why
Why
how
didn't
are
you
not-
replace DeVito for Achan? Because you got that's starting quarterback.
You are one big jerk. I don't hate it, but I definitely think it's laughable because how we value Achan, and you obviously know how you value Waddle because you just paid for him. So I'm not going to spend 3
But it's
assets
not like I don't
to go
value
from.
ASB high either. I mean,
Yes, I know, I agree, but we're talking a half PPR league, right? Half PPR. I need a running back, right? I'm not gonna just throw in Achan to move up a few spots in dynasty rankings. I don't. We like Waddle, right? I mean, Waddle's a
Adrian,
Waddle's
let's
a premium
talk. Let's
asset.
figure something out.
That's who you really need to be targeting, Adrian. If I was a bubble team, you had it right. You need to target me or players like me. But I'm destined to miss the playoffs. I have to have everything right
You've won
or
6 in
wrong
a
for
row?
everyone else.
yeah, I think
I have
you're.
won 6 in a row.
I think you're.
If you did the math like
selling
Zach and I
yourself
have
short.
done the math extensively,
You were
you'll
one
see
in-
that
you were 1 in
it's-
6.
You're
and then
selling
you
yourself short
turned it
because
around.
I wish you were right.
did you play? Who'd you play this week? Did you play Carmen?
No, he plays Carmen now.
Okay, so you win this week and you're there
I don't play Carmen right now.
this week.
Week 11. You're playing Carmen, right
Oh,
here.
do I?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
why I
and
said-
see, it's going to take even more than that though, because then he still has some tiebreakers against me. He's beat me already once, and he has the record. I did win my DH. I think he won his DH too, actually.
Go back to standing.
But you still got a shot for wild card too.
No, well, he's a game back in wild card,
Mm.
and Jason.
Yeah, but we got three weeks left.
Yeah, 3 weeks left. 3 weeks and a DH.
It can happen.
Oh, I know, and I'm playing like it, but I don't think I'm an Amon Ra giving up a Waddle and an Achan away from winning. I don't think that makes me better.
You don't even start Waddle. You're probably not even going to start Waddle.
Doesn't
Well,
mean I
guess
can't trade him.
Wiggins.
And that's what I mentioned. I might have mentioned that to just Zach though.
Higgins.
I'm shopping Waddle or Higgins,
But
or I
he's
have to
probably
shop
going to
Higgins.
start Achan when Achan comes back.
Everyone's going to start Achan, and he's going to let down billions of people.
I just think Hill, Lamb, and ASB would be solid.
But
start
he,
three.
like he said, he needs or running back.
It doesn't.
He's
Yeah,
got
it does.
Rashad White.
I'm not Amon Ra's production over Waddle's production away. From when that's not what I need. I need the boom out of Achan. I need a boom out of Tyreek, and then I need motherfuckers to start losing. Can people start losing? No one's losing in front of me. Everyone keeps winning.
I'm losing.
You're the only one I need. You can keep winning because you
need me to knock the other people off. Yes.
You're losing to the people that I need to lose.
That's what
right?
I said. But me losing
They're
to
winning.
Denver hurt your cause
Yeah.
to make the playoffs.
God, it hurts.
And it's not like I wanted to lose to either.
Mine. His
And then
team
you
is
got-
not as good as mine.
You got the
Neither
division that has Tony at 1-12. What? So those are two obvious
No.
wins.
That is
Tony?
Joe.
Oh, that is Joe. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the Bills. I'm the Bills.
All right.
No, he's
NFL.
saying Joe in our division basically gives
Oh.
all of these teams a free win.
A free win.
Ah,
Yeah.
And the Raiders are going to play the Browns, and one of them's going to win.
What the hell does Joe have his
that's
own?
good.
So, well,
That's
the Raiders or the Broncos, is going to be 10-5.
Now,
I
what
can
helps
see
Jason
myself-
right now is the Raiders and the Broncos both lost the first DH game.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. I didn't catch that.
Oh, there you go.
I mentioned that to you earlier. I said your
did you?
one saving grace right now is they both
But
lost.
you're still
Sorry, I
gonna,
was drowning in my sorrows at the
you're
time.
still best case going to be tied with them, unless they both lose. Well, whoever if the Raiders beat the Broncos, then you need the Raiders to lose their Week 13 game. That's what it's going to be. You have to win out, and whoever the Raiders or Broncos is has to lose their DH in Week 13.
And I just don't think I'm an Amon Ra away. Or guys,
The problem
I
isn't
just
your
spent
team.
A first on Derek Carr. Okay, I will do what it takes.
You're right. The problem
To
isn't your
win.
team.
The problem's not your team.
It's the guys in front of you.
That's what I'm trying to explain to. I LOL
Adrian, I don't think it's a bad offer, but
No, but you
I
beat
don't-
Carmen this week. You're tied for first in your division.
Denver plays Washington Week 13.
oh, that's true. Oh,
Ooh, wow.
Wait.
Oh,
My
and Cole
God.
plays Wes. Cole's end of the
thank
season
God.
schedule is brutal because he plays me and then he plays Wes.
so you want the
I have
Raiders?
a chance,
You want
but
the
it's
Raiders
it's
to
really slim. It's a
No,
really
he needs
slim chance.
Denver to lose.
you need Denver to lose. You need the Raiders to win so that they can lose to Zach, and then they can lose to Wes.
Yeah, he needs Cole to win this week.
You're actually it's a lot closer than you think. You're going to beat Carmen. You'll be tied for the division.
I'm not a lock to beat Carmen.
Yeah, you are. Week 11.
You have a higher
Carmen
point.
doesn't even have Van Jefferson this week, so it's pretty basic.
Van Jefferson.
Dude, he's got a great team. He's got guys. He's got Barkley, Etienne, Swift.
Okay,
He's got Justin Herbert. He's
Why
got
isn't this
Tank
guy-
Dell,
this is a one
Deontay,
QB
Samuel,
league.
One
Yeah.
QB
Garrett
league.
Wilson,
Why is this guy
Kittle.
not sold a QB? Sell
Guys, this
don't
is
sell
this
Lawrence,
is
sell
rough.
Powell or Herbert. Okay, question. Since we're still on, I mean, might as well ask. If anybody's stuck around, they're going to get another question. What are you
Sure.
doing with Sam Howell this offseason?
I think he's going to be the
Selling him to me.
starter. What the heck?
He's the QB3 in a lot of leagues.
I tried to
was-
trade for Sam Howell and SF2, and Van was having none of it.
I was wrong.
SF2.
I liked him this year. I was in.
Kyle
I
had
thought
him.
he
I was
wouldn't
like,
be
I
around.
was
Kyle
like,
traded him to Van, or no, Kyle traded him to
Pickled, didn't he?
Chicago. Who's
No.
Chicago?
I traded him. I traded him away.
Oh, then yeah. So Kyle
I
traded him
traded-
to you, and then you traded him
No,
to Van, and
I-
Van won't.
Yeah.
Van
Uh,
won't trade him to me.
Well, he's going to RFA next year. It's not like in SF2 because he was a
Yeah,
1 year
but you can
contract.
still
Love you guys. I'll
add.
say bye for everyone. See you
Oh,
in Discord. We will catch you on the flippity flop. Reese's Pieces.
cut us off.
Reese's Pieces peanut butter